I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up?
And they give those guys a little extra weight. Roger Craig, still on his feet, still running. What a run by Roger Craig. You'll never see a better one than that. From 46 yards.
He has that thing of getting those knees high and keeping the shoulders low. And he makes every team look like they're bad tacklers. Watch the way he gets that high knee action, keeps those feet going like two pistons. Then, at the same time that the knees are going high and keeping going, the shoulder can get low to take on a tackler.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Hey, this promises to be fun.
Oh, yeah.
Can't wait.
Are you kidding me? Do you believe it?
All right. Good morning. Welcome to the fabulous, fantastic football Friday edition of Snowman in the Morning. Snowman is here. Cole Johnson will be along in just a bit. There are a couple of experiments I still have to do with my set here. We're still getting situated, but lots of football to discuss, including an addiction to another football league that I have right now because of what I watched last night, and I'll get into that. Well, let's kick this off the same way we do every show with the whip around. To the scoreboard is where we starting Major League Baseball. Astros over the Yankees 2-1. It was the Blue Jays over the Rays 4-1. Indians over the Twins 5-3. Phillies over the Braves 14-4. The Brewers won less than the Pirates 8-7. And it was the Cubs over the Reds 15-7. Mariners beat the A's 8-6. And the Dodgers beat the Padres 3-1. Damn you, Dodgers. Damn you. Score that'll lead into me talking about my newest addiction. It was the British Columbia Lions, the BC Lions over the Ottawa Red Blacks 34-31 in the CFL last night. Nathan Rourke threw for 359 yards. You heard that right. 359 yards is what Nathan Rourke threw for last night. Holy cow. To the NBA free agency, and Kevin Durant wants out of the Brooklyn mess. Should have never gone there in the first place, Kevin. Many extensions handed out last night, including one for one Ja Morant. He's going to be a Grizzly for a long time, and I'm glad. He is the face of that franchise. A lot of opt-ins we're going to get to in our next segment, but two of the biggest names. Ja Morant stays with the Grizzlies. Nikola Jokic will stay with the Denver Nuggets. And Jalen Brunson is a Knick. Ah, hell. Well, Bradley Beal will stick with the Washington Wizards, as well as Westbrook sticking with the Los Angeles Lakers. John Wall is being bought out, and Wall intends to sign with the Los Angeles Clippers. The Los Angeles Clippers. Ugh. Brittany Griner should be home by now, but instead she's in a trial in Moscow, and it's gotten underway, and it will get underway today, about 4.5 months after she was arrested on cannabis possession charges at an airport while traveling to play for a Russian team. She was arrested in February in Moscow's Sheremetyevo airport. Police said she was carrying vape canisters with cannabis oil. The Mercury Center and two-time Olympic gold medalist could face up to 10 years in prison if convicted of large-scale transportation of drugs. This better not happen. And that is the whip around for this morning. Little short version of the whip around today. And there is there's a piece that I forgot. USC and UCLA are headed to the Big Ten. What the hell for? Money, of course. It's everything that Chris Dietz said on my show 5 years ago. It's all about money. It is all about money. Let's check the chat. Good morning, Indiana. Thank you, Sick Diggy, for joining us. Nice glasses, Snowman. These are old. I got these as a wedding present. I have to get new ones because they've just been through all kinds of hell. Unlike USC and UCLA, I'm here if you need me, says Chris Dietz. I just might. So, to touch on a point that I talked about during the abbreviated whip around, Kevin Durant wants out of Brooklyn. He has requested a trade. Kevin, I love you, but you should have never let Kyrie talk you into that in the first place, which leads to this. My Snowman's take today concerns one Kevin Durant. And Kevin, I'll say it again, you should have never left California. We saw my partner Cole Johnson says it best. We saw the best of LeBron James in Miami. We saw the best of Kevin Durant in California when he was with the Golden State Warriors. And I know everybody wants to say, well, it's because of Kevin Durant that the Warriors won those 2 titles. No. It's because of strength in numbers. Everybody participated, everybody played, everybody won. But then after an injury, Kevin Durant decided to leave, and his boy Kyrie Irving talked him into signing with the Brooklyn mess. And I said it right, the Brooklyn mess. Should have never left. Kevin needs to get away from that mess. Oh, yeah, he does. But who would want him? Who's going to want him? They're going to be, if the trade goes through, there's going to be a bidding war for Kevin Durant. That James Harden's virus spread like wildfire. Yeah, it sure did. Because in the 3 years that Kevin Durant has been in Brooklyn, they have not gotten past the second round, including a sweep this year of the Boston Celtics. Yeah, toxic culture in Brooklyn. And it's so sad that Kevin Durant's a part of it. Well, he made his bed, and now he has to lie in it. Now he has to I never thought I would say this, but it seems like he's becoming LeBron in chasing titles. At least Kevin Durant's chasing titles and not chasing achievements like LeBron is. I'll talk about that in a little bit. But man, there's a big part of me that feels so sorry for Kevin Durant. But as Sick Diggy says, Kevin Durant was only going to learn this lesson the hard way. He just has to chalk it up as a loss. Yep. He's got to chalk it up as a loss because it's a big fat loss. And I will say it again. Should have stayed in Northern California, Kevin. Should have stayed in Northern California. Because that's the best we saw of you. And you didn't have to be the leader of a team. But yet it was put in your head once again that you have to be the bus driver and win a championship with a team that is yours to be validated. Baloney. He's a 2-time champ. He's a 2-time finals MVP. That should have been validation right there. But thin skin allows you to do stupid things like be convinced that Kyrie Irving will help you lead to a championship run. And it's not. And Kyrie Irving opted into his contract for this year for Brooklyn. How come Kyrie Irving and Russell Westbrook are one and the same person? Toxic culture, ball hog mentality, and yeah, all that went down, all of that happened, and now Kevin Durant sees the error of his ways. I'm sorry, Kevin, you're seeing it 3 years too late. 3 years too late. If you'd have just waited it out, you wouldn't have any regrets because you'd be still with Golden State with the team that they put together. And believe me, this was the least talented championship team that the Warriors have had in their dynastic run. In their dynastic run. And you, Kevin, could have been a part of it. A big part, could have still been a part of it. A big part of it. Well, you got to learn the hard way. You got to learn the hard way. And that's what Kevin Durant is going through right now. The injury cost him a year when he got to Brooklyn. And then the last 3. The furthest they got was the second round. And had Kevin Durant had a smaller shoe in 2021, then they could have been possibly playing for a championship. But Kevin Durant as the bus driver in Brooklyn, trying to lead that team? Nah, not happening. In many, many ways, not happening. I'll say it again. We saw the best of KD when he was with Golden State. I know many will argue with me. Oh, we saw the best when he was in OKC. No. In Golden State, Kevin Durant was just relieved to play basketball with a team. Not with a player that thinks he can run a team, but with a team, a full team. I'll never forget the moment in 2017 when in the midst of the champagne shower at Oracle Arena, Steph Curry looked at KD and said, "You a champ." And it finally hit Kevin at that moment. And I'll never forget him saying, "I've been dreaming of champagne showers my entire career." Well, which team is next for Kevin Durant? Because the Nets are going to try to find a way to keep him, but it's not going to happen. I suspect by this time, in a month or less, Kevin Durant will have a new home. He'll have a new team. Now, the biggest question is going to be how that new team, whichever team it is going to acquiesce to him. Chris Dietz in the chat. All of these big time players are saying they want to leave situations they put themselves in. Thank you very much. And look where they all want to go. I will give you a hint. It will piss off bronsexuals. Oh, yeah. Sick Diggy in Oklahoma City, Kevin Durant was hampered by Russell Westbrook. And ain't all he was hampered by James Harden, who started to feel his oats and hasn't done a damn thing since then. Hasn't done a doggone thing. So teaming up with James Harden didn't work, and teaming up with Kyrie Irving certainly didn't work. Because you're talking about a part-time player that you depended on to be there for you when you needed him on the basketball court. Yeah. Oops. Sorry, Kevin. You made your mess. and now Brooklyn's going to have to eat it. That's Snowman's take. What's yours? All right, we're going to take our first break of the day, and when we come back, I peruse social media to my own damn detriment. You're watching us live on BS3 TV as well as YouTube, listening to us live on the SDM Sports Network, SDM Sports Radio, and Real Wise Radio, and 24 hours a day at officialsitmorn.com. That's for you, Rod Peterson. I love you, brother. We'll be back.
This is Snowman in the morning.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.
Play Eric Almirola's Race Day Mix.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up?
And to give those guys a little extra weight. Roger Craig, still on his feet, still running. What a run by Roger Craig. You'll never see a better one than that. From 46 yards.
He has that thing of getting those knees high and keeping the shoulders low. And he makes every team look like they're bad tacklers. Watch the way he gets that high knee action, keeps those feet going like two pistons. Then, at the same time that the knees are going high and keeping going, the shoulder can get low to take on a tackler.
This is Snowman in the morning.
Hey, this promises to be fun.
Oh, yeah. Can't wait. Are you kidding me? Do you believe it?
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made home ownership happen. Homeschooling yourself on loans, beefing up your credit score.
So I'm pre-approved.
You were like, yes! Sorry. Color-coding listings, ticking boxes, and flushing every toilet in a 20-mile radius. Home sweet home. You aced House Hunter. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Morning. I've been joined by some guys. Wise El Jefe, Cole Johnson in the house. Good morning, gentlemen. How are you?
Good morning. Can't hear you, Cole.
Cole, can't hear you.
At all.
Wait a minute.
I'm sorry.
There we go.
That's me. Yeah, I'm doing fine. How you doing, Wise? I'm about to sink my teeth into a burrito. I'm doing
good. Somebody's hungry. Well,
yes, sir.
I shouldn't do this, but
yes.
Thank you. I will not even. I'll just have y'all look at the screen. This morning, I had a conversation with a bronzexual, and this guy, I kind of have this knack of stirring a hornet's nest whenever they drop to their knees, and yeah, you know the rest. So I kind of stung this one bronzexual, and I said LeBron is mediocre. His response, David Anthony's response to me was, "There's no way you like basketball." I said, "I love hoops. Braun is mediocre. I've seen much better players." You know what this fish-eyed fool said to me? He said, let me find it. Wait, just a moment. He said, quote, "You're one of those Oreos, aren't you?" Close quote.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, one of them.
Okay, so you're married to a white woman. Whoopee.
No, but they got different flavor. They got different color flavored Oreos though. I like the golden ones personally.
I like them dark chocolate.
Most of them. Yeah. I said, no, just a basketball savant that has seen much better players. Again, you know what this
Wait a minute. What does the fact that you are an Oreo has even to do with this basketball conversation?
Apparently to him,
he's talking to a bronzexual. What that should answer.
That should tell you everything.
That should tell you everything right there, though.
Oh,
See, now Cole is like me when we deal with these bronzexuals. Look, David Anthony said unto me, quote, "Let me guess, you don't like LeBron because of his comments about Rittenhouse." Close quote.
Who gives a crap about Kyle Rittenhouse?
So I kind of dropped the hammer on him by saying, "You just don't pay attention, do you?" As I said, basketball-wise, I've seen much better than LeBron. Nothing but crickets after that. And that's the end of that conversation. Now, to Wise, as Sam Shady will join us at the bottom of this hour. Wise, yes. Jalen Brunson's a Knick.
I knew that was going to happen. It's not like this.
It was a horribly kept secret.
Wait a minute. Who gives a crap about Kyle Rittenhouse?
Cole,
I think we moved on past that call.
I ain't. Well, look, Wise. I'm happy you called it last month. You said Jalen Brunson going to be a Knick. It's a Knick.
Yes.
I am happy about that, and I do want you to go into it. But doggone it, this bronzexual upset me in having to bring this teenage idiot from Wisconsin into a sports conversation.
So see, this is the problem y'all have. Y'all attract.
I will explain again.
Attract these bronzexuals.
Yeah, they find us,
and
they find us. We don't find them.
I have these conversations. The only time I hear about these conversations when I come on this show,
we try not to.
This is the only time you have these conversations?
This is the only time I have these conversations. I don't talk about LeBron. To me, the more you talk about him, the more attention you give to him. So I don't speak about him. I don't talk about him. He's not a concern of mine.
Try to keep it to.
He's in LA.
As we try to keep it
I'm
to
on the
1
East
day
Coast.
a week.
I'm glad I don't have to see his games. I'm proud. I'm happy about that.
Just breathe.
Woosah.
Yeah, just breathe.
I prefer to talk about the Brooklyn hot mess.
How about some comments before we go further? Welcome to Adam Silver's NBA. We have gone from a league where players tried to acquire talent to help them win, where they played.
Can we really put this on Adam Silver though? It's
well, Deets just did.
It's more on the line of
I blame I fully blame who. I won't cuss. I won't say his name because it's Friday.
Okay, he played a big part of it.
Friday.
Him and his decision played a big part of it because now everybody wants to go everywhere and form a super team. Now KD wants to leave Brooklyn, go to Phoenix, and ride with
Miami
Booker. No, his preferred spot is Phoenix, but he's not going to Miami because Brooklyn would be stupid to trade him within the division. Okay, so if I'm trading him to the West Coast. Don't care.
Brooklyn decided to take Kyrie on. Shall we talk about how intelligent or lack thereof the Brooklyn Nets are?
I think the greatest decision my Knicks made was failing at getting those two.
Yes.
Yeah.
100, bro.
The Knicks said the Knicks said they weren't going to offer KD a max.
100.
So
they said they weren't going to offer KD.
You all should throw a ticket. You all should throw a ticker tape parade down Broadway right now
and
for not landing Kyrie Irving being a Knick.
Oh, I am so proud of it. I never wanted Kyrie. I've never wanted to build a super team. I prefer the way that they're going right now, where they're accumulating draft picks and building with a young core, core that has some potential.
And now you have Jalen Brunson
and making smart free agent pickups, right?
Yes,
which makes them a contender right now.
And listen, and the sleeper pick for me for them was getting the kid from the Clippers.
Yes, I agree.
Now we got ourselves a stretch 5. He's not going to be a starter because hopefully we can sign Mitchell Robinson. But now we got a stretch 5 who plays D.
And then you have
that's something you haven't had since Chris Porzingis. Oh, I'm sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
And then there's a kid I love named Obi Toppin.
Yes, and I love Obi.
I love Obi Toppin.
He showed
strong.
Listen,
I'm going to
that last week of the season, man. To me, if he gets to burn, he can shine. He has the potential to give you 20 and 10 every night.
I'm about to say, I think he can start to cook with this team now.
Yes.
And the best part about all of this, Obi Toppin has something a player we just spoke about and Wise never talks about doesn't have: a post game. Obi Toppin can box you up.
He's growing his repertoire. Everybody was talking about, he's an older player. He is what we needed. He is what we needed. And right now, with Julius in the way, why not play some more ball? Play him at the 5 sometimes. He's strong. And a lot of these 5s don't even play down low. Only 5 he has to worry about playing down low is Embiid.
Well, I just got this thrown across my desk. Gary Payton II leaving Golden State, finalizing a 3-year, $28 million deal with the Portland Trailblazers.
Yes,
that's all right, though. Possibly in his place, though, might be Bobby Portis. What do you think?
Bobby Portis is staying in Milwaukee.
No, Bobby Portis is staying put, and Joe Ingles is joining them.
4-year deal to stay in Milwaukee. Joe Ingles is joining them in Milwaukee.
Wow. All right. So the Bucks decided to say, nah, you ain't leaving. Okay.
No.
Yep.
Smart.
And they went and got Joe Ingles.
Smart move by the Bucks.
Very smart move. John Morant gets a 5-year worth up to $231 with Memphis. Good.
He's worth the max. He is worth the super max. Yes.
Yes, he is.
Jokic signed a max.
Jokic signed a max also. Richest contract in NBA history. Karl Anthony Towns is staying in Minnesota 4 years, $224 for him.
And Bradley Beal is going back to Washington.
Why?
Yep. Why? Because they just added Will Burton and and another player.
Again,
why? He hasn't played with Porzingis. Listen,
and he ain't getting the money he's gonna get in DC either.
Yeah, that is true as well.
This is true.
But I'm telling you, they added some good pieces. And with Kyle Kuzma, listen, this Washington team is a sleeper team. People can say whatever they want. They have some talent on that team. Now is hopefully Wes Unseld Jr. can be as great as a good coach as his father and lead this team. But they have talent on that team, and adding a quality guy in your locker like Will Barton, that's a great pickup for them.
Yeah.
when you have a player of his caliber to come and help mold that locker, I can't blame him.
Well, I expect Golden State to make a couple of moves because I'm gonna miss GP2 with the Warriors. I'm gonna miss him.
I think that was a mistake on their part.
Yeah, I believe
He
so
was
too.
a rare mistake in the
a rare mistake
for the Warriors. Yeah,
and because he's probably your best
your
defender.
best perimeter defender. It may be defender period, but definitely best perimeter defender.
Best perimeter defender.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said,
but he's gonna get a good start with Portland to team up with Damian Lillard.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
and I wouldn't be surprised if Portland and Golden State mix it up for not only the Pacific Division, but
they just
playoff series.
They just extended Anthony Simmons. They gave him a 4-year deal.
I like Simmons. I like Simmons.
People forget he's only 23 years old.
Yeah. And
he's been in the league 4 years.
Mm-hmm. So I like Simmons. Kevin Calabro, the television voice, is going to go nuts.
And once McCollum went to New Orleans, and Damian Lillard went down, Simmons stepped up.
Mm-hmm.
Averaged 22 a game with 4 or 5 assists.
Well, so they're going to get a lot of help now.
Oh yeah,
they're going to get a lot of help now.
Going to help them
with GP2 there.
Yeah, GP2.
They're going to get a lot. They're going to get a lot of help. Speaking of help, we're going to get some help in breaking down Sunday's USFL Championship game, which I am going to peer my eyes to from start to finish. We'll break down the Philadelphia Stars and the Birmingham Stallions, and they're playing in Canton. Sam Shady joins us next. Snowman in the morning with Wise El Jefe and Cole Johnson back in a flash.
This is Snowman in the morning.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.
Dad?
Just 1 minute, okay?
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
LeBron James is trash as a basketball player.
Wow.
I will say that one more time.
You said it so easily.
I've been saying it for 20 years.
It just came fluidly out of your mouth, like it just flowed like waters of the of a of a fall, just dropping off a cliff.
Oh, you mean this sentence right here?
Quote.
LeBron James as a basketball player is pure, unadulterated trash and has been for 20 years.
Close quote.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
These bronzesexuals. 35 after the hour. Sam Shady on the way. They can't win a logical basketball argument, so they turn to racist language. And all the three of us do is laugh. Because they don't know basketball. But we know some football. And we got Sam Shady in the house to talk USFL championship. Good morning, Sam. Good to have you.
Good morning, fellas. How you guys doing today?
Sam.
What's going on, Sam?
There's a championship game this Sunday. And a lot of people didn't think the USFL would get to this point. Sam believed, Cole believed, Wise believed, and I believed. And here we are. It's the Birmingham Stallions and the Philadelphia Stars for all the marbles, and they're playing at Hall of Fame Stadium in Canton, Ohio. Sam, I know you're flying high right now. Let's get your initial thoughts on this inaugural season.
Oh, man. It's been a roller coaster ride if you were a Philadelphia Stars fan. It seems like every other week we were winning and losing a game. We couldn't string more than one win together. And then towards the end of the season, we lost 2 games in a row to close out the year 6-4. So I'm actually kind of calling this like the David and Goliath matchup of the USFL season, because Birmingham was very much the opposite. They rolled through their season damn near mistake-free all year long. They had 1 loss to the Gamblers 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago at this point. And they just seem like they're a lot more complete team than the Stars that have kind of sputtered at times. So it's going to be an interesting matchup this weekend for sure.
But the Stars have a wild card that has come on lately, especially in the win over the heavily favored New Jersey Generals, and that wild card is Case Cookus.
Yes, sir. Captain Cookus, as he likes to call himself on Twitter. He is exactly kind of guy exactly the kind of guy that Philadelphia likes to rally around. We saw 5 years ago when Nick Foles led the Eagles to a championship game, and once again we have a Philadelphia football team in the championship game with their backup quarterback starting, and he's, like I said, he's the exact type of guy Philadelphia likes to rally around. He's a very much grab your lunch pail and come to work type guy. And it's just one of those situations where I'm personally very excited to see what happens this weekend.
Multitasking while dropping knowledge. I love it, Sam.
Same here. Hey, we're multifaceted. It's all right. Hey, we're multifaceted men, and we multitask all the time here on the program. Sam Shady joining us here, breaking down the USFL championship. And you made a prediction on Twitter, which I wholeheartedly support. Don't be surprised if next year they go to 2 hubs and not just 1.
Yeah, actually, it seems like it's becoming more and more likely at this point. We talked about it, I think, all the way back at the beginning of the season when we first started doing this segment together. It seems like it made sense for year 1. For year 2, it's a step in the right direction. I kind of wish we were going to more. Maybe 4's the number, maybe 8. I really know. I don't know that 2 is necessarily a solution. My big worry here is that next year you're going to have the XFL in February to April, right before the USFL season kicks off, and they're in their cities.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Then we have the MLFB, same thing. They're in cities. They're going to have a 10 to 12 game season in the spring next year. So the USFL is all of a sudden, in my eyes, kind of falling behind a little bit. Granted, they're ahead because they've had the product on the field, and it looked great. broadcast value was amazing. They did an amazing job, but there's a lot left to be desired still.
Here's a question I have. So with these new leagues, XFL and MFL, do you think the USFL do you think they have to worry about these other spring leagues poaching their players?
Yes and no. So basically the way these things are all working out, if you look at the pay structure for each league, it kind of almost makes like a tier system, and the XFL is paying the highest. They're going to be around $5,500 to $7,000 a week for a 10-week season. It works out to on average about $50,000 to $70,000 a year, which is pretty good when you figure these guys are only playing like 4 months.
Right.
But then the USFL slots in at second because they're paying about $4,000 to $5,000 a month, so they're right about that second tier. And then the MLFB falls in right underneath them. They're paying about $2,000 a week plus a $500 win bonus. So I feel like it's going to shake out tiers of these guys, and maybe we see a situation where eventually it's like MLFB is like kind of the lowest tier, and the players move up to either the XFL or the USFL, and eventually into the NFL. I talked about it, I believe, a couple weeks ago. The MLFB was originally not willing to release players from their contracts to go to the XFL. It sounds like they're kind of backtracking on that a little bit. So we'll see how things go in the future.
Sam Shady joining us here on the program on this fabulous Football Friday. He comes to us on the Monkey Knife Fight hotline, and Snowman in the Morning is brought to you by Black Lion Security Firm, the pride of protection with the protection of pride. Back to football business. Sam, let's hear it. Who you picking and why?
I am, of course, going with the Philadelphia Stars, but the reason why is I always try to ride with a hot hand. And if you look at it, Birmingham, yes, they won the game last week, but their offense has been kind of sputtering. A couple weeks ago, Jamar Smith only completed 9 of 24 passes and still won a game. So, I mean, they are far from flawless. And at the same time, in that same stretch of games, Philadelphia's defense has gone from non-existent to dang near unstoppable, because there's been times where they've stopped the best backs in the league on 4th down and short. There's been times where they've had clutch interceptions. They've stepped up in a big way, and you always say defense wins championships, and I think this is going to be the ultimate week where we see Philadelphia's defense play to the utmost of their potential.
Philadelphia is indeed the hot hand, the hot team coming into this championship. Let's go around the horn and make our picks courtesy of Monkey Knife Fight. Cole, what do you think? Stallions or Stars? Who's the USFL champs?
I want to say the Stars so bad. I really do. Because I did see that offense get on track later in the season. But there's something to be said about how a team steadily plays itself, and they seem to be a notch above everybody. I just think the Stallions will take it home. But it's going to be a really good game, though.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if this is a high-scoring game, if not one of the highest-scoring games of the year. I'm torn between these two teams because, as Sam said, Philadelphia is the hot team. Birmingham has been consistent all year long. Let's go to Wise. Wise, what do you think? Who are you picking and why?
Oh, man. I would go with Philly because I'm in Pennsylvania.
I would too, because I work for a lot of Pennsylvania places. So yes.
And I know some Pennsylvania folks here.
But like, you gotta go with what's been consistent through the whole year. Like the Stallions have been showing up every week. Even though Sam pointed it out earlier a couple of weeks ago when their quarterback went 9 for 24 and still won the game.
Still won. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, so that's just showing you that they're even when they're playing bad, they're pulling out victories.
Doesn't the Stallions, I beg your pardon, and I want Sam in on this question too. Doesn't doesn't the Stallions kind of remind you of Bill Parcells and the New York Giants? They bring
It's funny you say that.
Yeah.
I actually just finished writing an article yesterday about the USFL championship and kind of previewing it, and I compared him to a Parcells disciple, Bill Belichick,
Bill Belichick,
because they
yes.
they focus on like mistake-free football, situational football, and Skip Holtz he just beats it into his players' head that, hey, we
Yes.
need to limit key mistakes, and that's how they win games.
And I'm happy for Skip Holtz. I'm so happy for Skip Holtz. He got an opportunity, and now he's playing for a championship. And I know Sam has to go because he has to be into work early. But Sam, I love you being on each week. I love you, brother. We're going to talk football all the way through the year because we got the NFL coming up. I'm addicted to the CFL now. I'll explain that in a couple of moments. But Sam, thank you so much. The USFL Championship is Saturday, and I encourage everybody to check it out.
Absolutely. It's actually Sunday.
Oh, it's Sunday. It is Sunday. It is Sunday.
I got you covered on Saturday morning. Join me, Shady Sports Network, on twitch.tv. I will be interviewing 2 Philadelphia Stars players.
Nice.
I've got Cody Brown, the safety. He's known as Hitman Brown. Go look up his viral clips. You'll see why.
Love it.
And then I also have the free agent that was signed yesterday, running back Dexter Williams, who will be replacing Matt Colburn, who was placed on the injured list and will not be playing.
I love it. I love it. Check out the Shady Sports Network on twitch.tv. Let's help him grow as he helps us grow. Thank you, Sam. Appreciate you, and I love you. We'll talk to you after the championship.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much, and have a great rest of your afternoon.
Enjoy your Independence Day weekend, Sam.
Sam Shady joins us, and we're going to be talking football from now until this time next year when we take a short break and we go back at it again with the different leagues. And speaking of leagues, I'm hooked on the CFL now because of one person. Nathan Rourke from the BC Lions threw for 359 yards last night. I mean, these leagues, of course, it starts with the NFL, but you got the Canadian Football League, you got the USFL, XFL on the way back. We're going to be inundated with football over the next couple of years, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
Well, it's a beautiful
It's
sport.
going to be football crazy. It's going to be football crazy. Hey, you want to sponsor the show? You can do so by dropping an email to snowmaninthemorning@gmail.com. That's snowmaninthemorning@gmail.com. Later on this morning, we will have the Boom Shakalaka with Chris Bass. And boy, I cannot wait to have this man on. And I kind of owe him. I got so hung up on time last week that we didn't do the full half hour. We're going to do the full half. We're going to do the full half hour and then some today. 10:05, Mike Debate joins me. We'll talk all things NFC South, and Ivan Dawkins will finish things off as I'll go ahead and make this announcement now. I'm going to make some adjustments, and we're going to scale back to 3 hours because that seems like the perfect plateau. That seems like the perfect plateau for me physically, for the guys, and for the folks. It was okay doing 4 hours, but it just physically became a toll.
It's a lot of work.
That's a lot of work.
It is.
It's a lot of work.
It's something I had to listen.
It's 4 hours. You got to maintain some great energy and
by hour 3, I'm like I'm just about end of hour 3. I'm just about tapped, and 3 hours seems perfect. I mean, we can play between 2 hours and 3 hours, but within that time is a perfect time. Let's do some more house cleaning. You can donate to the show by hitting paypal.me/snowman2172. And after this holiday weekend, we'll have some behind the scenes stuff with Wise, Cole, and I. You can become a patron, patreon.com/SIT morning. And this is back in motion. You see the link, you can donate to it. And I gave it a new hashtag, but man, we're rolling through on this football Friday. Use the code Snowman at monkeyknifefight.com. You'll get 100% match on up to your up to $100 on your initial deposit. Let's take a break, and when we get back, we're going to carry you through to 5 after the hour, just talking sports. This is Snowman in the Morning, back in a flash.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
BS3 Network. Changing the way you watch TV.
Play Eric Amarola's Race Day Mix.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up?
Sandy, give those guys a little extra weight. Roger Craig, still on his feet, still running. What a run by Roger Craig. You'll never see a better one than that. From 46 yards.
He has that thing of getting those knees high and keeping the shoulders low. And he makes every team look like they're bad tacklers. Watch the way he gets that high knee action, keeps those feet going like two pistons. Then, at the same time that the knees are going high and keeping going, the shoulder can get low to take on a tackler.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Hey, this promises to be fun.
Oh, yeah. Can't wait. Are you kidding me? Do you believe it?
Snowman in the Morning, Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. Eastern, live.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made home ownership happen. Homeschooling yourself on loans, beefing up your credit score. So I'm pre-approved. You were like, yes. Sorry. Color coding listings, ticking boxes, and flushing every toilet in a 20-mile radius. Home, sweet home. UA's House Hunt. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
So I got some applause when I made the announcement. I'm going to scale it back to 3 hours. I'm going to make some adjustments with some guests that I have usually scheduled during the 11 a.m. hour. But you know what? I have to scale it back because, as Wise said earlier, it's tough to keep things up for 240 minutes. I thought I could handle it, but as I've learned, it's 180 minutes. That's the max for me. But you know what? That's good. It's good. It's good enough. Who would be the best classic voice for the USFL?
That's out today.
You know, Chris. You know, Dietz gave a suggestion. Gus Johnson.
Yeah. If he wants to, goes back into professional football. Yeah.
I think Fox has the call Sunday, and that's going to be Kurt Menefee and Joel Klatt on the call on Sunday.
There's not anyone really out there that really wows me or
there's no
commands the audience like a Pat Summerall and McMadden together, or
Dick Enberg and
Dick
Merlin
Enberg definitely,
and Merlin Olsen. Yeah,
there's no one out there really.
There's no, and Cole, we've talked about it. There's no like old school voices. That can command, and the best pair is now with that evil 4-letter network.
Yeah, the best twosome is with them. The best voice to me that comes close,
maybe Al Michaels.
Well, Al Michaels easily is the best voice that's out now.
Yeah,
but beyond him, the closest would be Jim Nance. And look, he's a Houston guy. I'm a Houston guy. I like him. I like his style. But you don't really go to him for his voice. You normally go to him because he knows how to describe the action as a play-by-play man. He knows how to get out of the way.
Yeah. D to ask this question: what about Dick Stockton? Stockton retired.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
2 years ago.
I thought he retired. Yeah.
Kevin Harlan is more of a basketball guy now.
He does. Yeah, he does some football play-by-play too.
He does.
But I like him more basketball than football.
He's a basketball guy more than a football guy, even though we know him for a long time as the voice of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Of course.
As the radio voice of the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, he's the one that coined the term touchdown Kansas City before Mitch Holthus took it over. And then Greg Papa borrowed it and says touchdown San Francisco. So it's some great stuff out. It's some great stuff out there, but nothing compares television wise to Pat Summerall and John Madden for CBS and Dick Enberg and Merlin Olsen
for NBC.
The best pair for NBC that could compare to Merlin Olsen and Dick Enberg would be Don Criqui and Bob Trumpy.
Oh, that is an underrated pair.
Yeah. It would be Don Criqui and Bob Trumpy. And later, Bob Trumpy joined Dick Enberg in the booth when Criqui moved on and got the Notre Dame gig.
Oh man, I wish they back when we were young. I wish they did more games together.
Yeah, you know what? Criqui and Trumpy did more Cleveland Brown games together, and I'm talking about old Cleveland Stadium, colder than you know what, and it's a playoff game. The game they described with the Browns and the Jets from 1986, classic call.
Yes,
the double overtime classic call.
That's probably their best game. Yeah.
And for Summerall and Madden, if they're not describing the 49ers, they're describing the Giants. How many times have we seen Summerall and Madden do an NFC East game?
Oh, good Lord. More than we can count.
Ryan McCarthy in the house with us. Good morning, gentlemen, and good morning to everyone watching and listening.
Good morning,
Happy Friday.
Good morning, Ryan.
Happy Friday to everybody that's tuning us in, and thank you all for tuning us in. Our subscriber count on the YouTube channel has gone up. It's gone up. People are tuning in. We haven't had a triple-digit view count yet.
Came close though.
Yeah, we have. Couple times. And Wise, I want to say thank you for joining us on Thursdays and Friday mornings. Love having you as part of the crew. Thank you for being part of the crew. And I just tagged Wise and Cole in a post on Instagram.
I did it first. So let's.
Wise did it first. Wise did it first. So I figure let's follow suit and let's have fun with our socials. Official SIT Morning is the social of the show. Host Cole Johnson is my man at the bottom, Cole Johnson. And of course, you can find Wise searching Wise El Jefe. All kinds of good stuff coming from both of these guys. And I think I'll have a green screen up after the holiday because we're taking the holiday off because I need some sleep.
Well, I gotta work.
I'll say this.
I gotta work on my birthday. Oh man.
Why? Come on, man. I'm not working on my birthday.
Oh, yeah, my job won't give me off. So.
Okay.
I feel you. Mine's the same way. I feel you.
Well, we just might do a holiday special and limit it to 2 hours where we just don't have a Don't have a line. We'll see. We'll see how the weekend goes. It's the top of the second hour. It's 9 a.m. And for you Bron Sexuals, I play this special intro as hour 2 starts right now.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Mister, will you please wake up?
Grant with that jump shot's off. Long rebound run down by Hodges, and here's the King. That's a 3.
This is Snowman in the morning.
Hey, this promises to be fun.
Oh, yeah. Can't wait. Are you kidding me? Do you believe it?
Thank you, Brent Musburger.
There's a classic voice right there. There's a classic voice. Hour 2 starts right now as we talk some broadcasting shop with Ben Sutterth on the way. And there's a football rumor flying around. The Cowboys just may release Ezekiel Elliott.
Can I actually say that I'm surprised?
No, because I'm not.
Yeah, can I add that I don't care?
Well, we know. Well, the whole world knows you don't care. You being the Giants.
Can I add that I called this?
You called this about a couple years back.
Can I add that I called this because they weren't using Ezekiel Elliott
not nearly enough or properly. Yeah. Bishop Bullwinkle.
Oh yeah, we need him.
Are you really surprised that the Cowboys are giving up on Ezekiel Elliott?
Hell no. To the no, no, no. Hell to the no. Hell to the no. To the no, no, no. Listen.
Take that, Facebook. And I cut that. I edited that rant. I edited that segment. And I have people on Facebook asking me, why didn't you stream live on Facebook Live anymore? Here, listen to this. Because after that incident, you wonder why YouTube doesn't do the same thing. Oh yeah, because YouTube in some ways actually cares about its content creators.
Again, I just want to add, I don't do Facebook Lives.
Me neither. I'm done.
Okay, why?
It doesn't matter why. It doesn't matter why.
Oh, you don't know why? You want to know why?
Yes, why? So
okay,
why don't you do Facebook Lives?
Because I shouldn't have to pay, right, to boost my videos or whatever, so that my friends could see my stuff.
You know what? Agreed.
Like,
wow.
You don't like. I have.
Hey, Bishop Bullwinkle. Should we content creators have to pay to boost our posts?
Hell no. To the no, no, no. Hell to the no. Hell to the no. To the no, no, no. Listen.
I drink to that.
I should show up in every single one of my friends' newsfeed.
Yes.
Period.
Not just 10 or 20 of them. Every single one. But
Period.
They make sure that just a few see my post.
Talk about shadow bans.
Yes, yeah. That is not worth your time. I agree with that.
Talk about shadow bans. Talk about shadow ban. And then they get to pick the ads and they get to make
Hell no. To the no, no, no. Hell to the no. Hell to the no. To the no, no, no. Listen.
Okay. Points made. And since I decided not to stream on Facebook, I felt better.
Good.
I felt better. Because okay, let's get back to business.
Okay.
Chris Eats in the chat. Of course, Kurt and Joel are great at what they do, but Menifee and Cloud will always be associated with their bigger positions. Clapp with college football and Menifee with the NFL. Yeah.
And I think Gus Johnson also will be now associated with college football.
Yeah, Deed said that earlier. He also poses this question: isn't Musburger still doing Raiders games? Unfortunately, no. They let him go. And I hate that because now I can't tune into Raiders games and hear jackpot, baby. Like he called when the Raiders got the game-winning kick when he said, jackpot, baby, let's go to Cincinnati.
So they didn't renew his contract. Okay. All right.
But he was perfect.
I got a question. It's just off anything I was discussing.
Okay.
It has to do with Shannon Sharp and Richard Jefferson.
Oh, God.
Shannon Sharp and Richard Jefferson?
Yes. So Shannon Sharp called Richard Jefferson lazy. Because Shannon Sharp feels that Richard Jefferson should be versed in all sports, versed on everything. But I understand why Richard Jefferson is doing what he's doing, because he wants to do what he loves to do, and which is basketball, is talk basketball. He says he has no interest in talking about the NFL. He has no interest in others. He says, kudos to Shannon Sharp for doing all that, for being versed in all sports and everything. But that's what you decided. That's the field you decided to go in when you decided to do the show with Skip Bayless, because you have to discuss everything, not just different topics, football. Yes.
Yep.
So me personally, for him to even call him lazy because he doesn't want to go the same route he went, it's just another thing of black men not supporting each other.
And then on top of it, Shannon Sharp, when it comes to him talking about at least anything NBA, it is so LeBron James slanted. It is unreal, and it is almost unwatchable and unlistenable because of that. I do not fancy to see a guy, even a black guy, wearing a goat mask and a Lakers jersey with cigars and Hennessy on the table.
This is why we don't do a debate style show. We have a discussion. And Shannon Sharp, allow me to do this.
It's time to go.
I haven't had a chance to roast Shannon Sharp in a while. I will today. Shannon Sharp, why do you keep showing your hand when you try to have a poker face? And that's when you discuss all sports, especially with the NBA. Thank you. Thank you. I needed that. Because we all know how you feel. We know who you feel for. We all know which way you're going to lean when it comes to basketball. Yep. To the point where you didn't want to give the world champion Golden State Warriors their credit when they beat the ever-loving out of the Boston Celtics in Game 6. You didn't want to show any kind of love, any kind of credit. And as Cole said best, as one of my partners said best, a goat mask, a Laker jersey, and Hennessy on the table? Nah, that's not professional.
Oh, yeah, and Black and Milds. Sorry, not cigars. Black and Milds.
And you know what? If I were in charge at Fox and I saw that, I'd have fired your ass on the spot.
If that isn't a Negro startup kid, I don't know what is.
Yep. I'd have
trying to prove his blackness.
I'd have fired your ass on the spot because that's not professional. And these debate shows, First Take, Undisputed, are not professional at all. Speak for yourself. Same thing.
It gets old. It's
this is why CBS.
I don't like Marcellus Wiley and
listen.
Yeah, Manuel Lacho. Yeah.
Oh man, don't get me started on that show. This is why I'm glad Colin Cowherd has stuck to his show. Mm-hmm. I'm glad CBS Sports Radio does not have a debate show, a general debate show. Do they have one for the NFL? Of course, because they're covering the league.
Right.
That's when debate shows should happen.
Yeah.
And First Take, once upon a time, was cold pizza.
And it wasn't as much of a debate show as it is now.
No. And by the way, Shannon Sharp, your bronze sexuality really, really shows up.
Badly.
Very, very badly. To the point where I ask two things of you, Shannon Sharp.
You know your damn role and shut your damn mouth.
Now, I'll be back in a minute. Cole, Wise, y'all cover me. I'll be back in a little bit.
No problem, man.
I'll take care of something. I'll be back.
Got you, bro.
So yeah, I just had to get that off my chest. I just had to speak on that because I thought Shannon Sharp was an idiot. Because who are you to tell anyone what lane they should be in? He chose to be in the basketball lane. That's where he feels comfortable. Why are you bringing him down? Why are you even calling him lazy? Because he doesn't want to do what you do.
Right. And
that's to me, that's like, why? I don't understand this. Instead of us supporting each other,
right,
we bring each other down. Why? I don't get it. I really don't get it. I don't understand. That he's good at basketball. That's what he likes to talk about.
Yeah.
That's what his focus is on.
Mm-hmm.
Just because he doesn't want to do your whatever you do, that's fine. It's his lane. Stay out of his lane.
Right.
Like,
okay, Shannon. If that's the case, if you're going to challenge Richard Jefferson in not doing NFL stuff and only doing NBA stuff, why don't you do the opposite and do the same thing with Dan Orlovsky? Because I don't see him talk often or much about any other sport but the NFL.
Because that's what Dan Orlovsky talks about. NFL, that's his specialty.
That's his specialty.
That's his wheelhouse. So why would he want to go somewhere that unless it's his choice to step out of the box and he want to cover other sports,
right?
Then that's his choice.
Right.
But for him to attack another black man, calling him lazy because he doesn't want to go the same route as you,
is whack.
It's to me, it's corny, man. You just need like that. I just lost a lot of respect for that because you keep those things to yourself. If that's how you feel about another black man, keep it to yourself.
Just when
not to come on your show and for your ratings or whatever to bring another man down because of what he said on Michelle Beatty's show, his podcast. That's his field. That's what he wants to take. I'm done. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. Just when I think I couldn't love and respect you any more than I do now, Wise, I do, because I've always had that type of energy when it came to Shannon Sharp. And I have went since day number one when I saw him opposite Skip Bayless on Undisputed, because I'm thinking, oh Lord. I get that he has some intelligence and he's funny, but
I'm not saying he's not good at his job. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying.
That's not my cup of tea.
I'm just saying, why are you attacking this other black man? Because he don't want to do the same thing you're doing.
Yeah, I agree. Why don't we have another person, since we do support other black men who can.
Well, he just stepped out, so
well,
we'll see him come back.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess try number 3 is upcoming, but okay. This has been what I have thought about Shannon Sharp. I've always said, man, I wish you were like more your brother Sterling. I would much rather hear Sterling do these takes, but I know that's not his style, than him. And I get that Shannon is more gregarious, and I get that he is more charismatic. I understand all of that. But the dude is an absolute 1,000% turnoff for me. And
Same.
doggone, I can't stand watching this idiot. And I really do believe that. And I will say this on this mic on any show, mine, this one, or anybody else's. Mr. Shannon Sharp, I wished that you did not sound like a slave in the 19th century.
Can I get a witness?
Because you sound that way every single time you open your doggone mouth. And because of it, you are a complete turnoff and an embarrassment to me. As a black man, you are an embarrassment.
Can I get a witness?
And if this take means I get kicked off of this show, so be it.
No,
but I have never been a fan of yours as an analyst of any sport, including the one you played. And yes, you were a wonderful tight end, Hall of Famer. I understand that. And you deserved it, sir. But you spitting hot takes on mics? No, man, you should keep your mouth shut.
Doesn't work. Deets in the comments. I've been asked to do debate shows and I've had to turn them down because it's about sound bites rather than content. Amen to that.
Exactly.
And it gets tiring.
Amen to that.
It's like, okay, so you basically need to disagree in order to have a show. How boring is that?
It don't happen here. We talk sports and we welcome Ben Sutter to the program. Good morning, Ben.
It worked the third time.
Ben, you with us?
Or did it?
I hear the car.
Benjamin.
You hear the engine.
Benjamin. We love you, brother.
Sorry, for some reason I can't hear you. I'm gonna try to reconnect.
Okay.
All right, but we hear you.
We hear you though. Oh
man. And this is one of the times I look for when I put this show together 8 years ago, and Labor Day will celebrate season 9.
Okay.
Can you believe that? Season 9.
Time flies, bro.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. My wife said something to me recently. She said, "This is no longer a hobby. This is you. This is your gig. This is your work." I said, "This is too much fun for it to be work." And she says, "Yeah, now it's time to pay it off." And she's right. So in essence, in a playful way, my wife told me this.
You know your damn role and shut your damn mouth.
Yeah. She said, know your role and pay this and pay this off. And she also said, I will help you. So she's in. She's all in.
That's awesome.
This is not a debate show. This is a sports show where we talk all sports. And a certain person told me 2 years ago when I had my show on his network, no one cares about baseball. Bullshit.
What?
Yeah, he said you shouldn't talk baseball. No one cares about baseball. Wait. I got a better response. Dolomite, no one cares about baseball.
Bitch, are you for real?
This country is brought up on baseball. What the heck?
You got a Yankee fan, an Astros fan, and a White Sox fan. We'll talk baseball all damn day. All right? And I think that's how we're gonna do it on Monday. Couple hours, just talking. We'll insert the breaks when we need to, but for once, I'm not gonna write anything down on how we're gonna do this. So yeah, we're all gonna put a live show on Monday, but it'll only be a 2-hour show. Listen, no one likes talking about baseball.
Bitch, are you for real?
I got something to say to that. Carolina homer about all of his hot takes, and it goes like this. Nene.
we live in a country where the first sport that people universally loved in this country was baseball.
That's a first sport this black man loved. 3 generations of Chicago Southsiders.
Listen,
3 generations of White Sox fans, baby.
I was at baseball games in the womb.
There you get. There it is.
Yes.
There it is.
Yes.
There it is.
I come from an island. My family comes from an island of baseball freaks. So
Can I get a witness? And you're talking to a not only a baseball fan but a radio rat who loves John Sterling, who loves Robert Ford, our current voice, our current baseball voice, Jason Benetti, television voice, John Rooney, who was the radio voice of the White Sox for 18 years, along with the late great Ed Farmer. God rest you, Farmio. Come on now. Come on. And hey, Deet says he's off Monday. Add a Mets fan to the mix. The great Howie Rose. Put it in the book.
I think now, I think we're coming upon the age in sports where if it's not the hot fight, boxing, I mean, if it's not the hot fight and it's not football or NFL related, somewhat NCAA related, but definitely NFL related, and if it's not NBA related, then it doesn't matter in terms of a sporting event. And it's like you're forgetting so many other so many other sports things out there to that's worthy to talk about. It's sickening.
I led off Wednesday's show with the WNBA and what they're doing. And Dietz and I had a great conversation about the WNBA yesterday and why they're still not getting the love from the fans and financially.
What's this year number 27 now? Yeah.
26.
Okay.
26. And Dietz made a wonderful point. There's a lot of female fans that are basketball fans, but they're NBA fans.
Yes, they are.
They don't like fundamental hoops.
Yeah.
I'll say it again. They don't like fundamental hoops.
It's similar to NHL because just about half of the NHL fandom is women.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be amazed at how many women love football.
True.
Oh, yeah. It's more and more women who do love football.
True.
Yes.
True.
You'd be amazed at how many women love football.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, mine does not, but yes.
And actually know the game.
Mine doesn't like sports, period. So
same.
Mine doesn't like baseball, but during football season, listen, we just moved into a new place.
Mm-hmm.
We already got the room designated of where it's going to be our couple's cave, especially on Saturdays and Sundays when we do nothing but watch football and have snacks all over the place.
Now,
the information man show's in the house saying peace and respect. Thank you. Dietz just reminded me Howie Rose. Great Howie Rose.
Now, it surprises me with your wife, though, Brian, considering that she grew up in a state where they love and talk about and revere basketball.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And she's a Colts fan. Big time. Mm. The last game of the year, and I shared this story when Cole and I wrapped it up. Let's try and get Ben in here 11 minutes before the Boom Shakalaka with Chris Bass. Ben, are you with us?
Yep, I'm here.
There we go.
Awesome.
There we go.
Hey, brother.
Okay. Ben, can we color you surprised that the Cowboys are thinking of giving up on Ezekiel Elliott?
Yeah. It's just really, my volumes is really low. I'm trying to do this from my phone. I don't know what. It normally works like normal. Okay, there we go. I got
you. Can we color you surprised that the Cowboys are thinking of giving up on Ezekiel Elliott?
No, I'm not surprised. The running backs on their second contract normally don't work out. I think the Cowboys realize that, but it's a little too late. But you do have Tony Pollard right there in the wings, so
right. Mm-hmm.
it's a tough decision to make. It's one of those emotional ties that the Cowboys have, but I think they'll if they do cut ties, I'll be fine with it.
And you're talking about a Cowboy team, a Cowboy offense in particular, that loves throwing the ball more than running it. And yet, when Elliott was healthy and was getting the rock 20, 25 times a game, there was no problem. Why do you think they went away from that, Ben, and started depending on Dak Prescott more?
Yeah, they abandon the run quick, especially when they get down. That's always been an issue, especially under Kellen Moore, who's a disciple of Linehan, and they both had that same approach. Whenever things got tough, just abandon the run and just pass. So, yeah, I think that's been the MO. But if you teams that win, they run the ball, and that's that majority of the time. So we can't abandon it every time it gets tough.
It's hard to abandon something you don't inhabit.
Yeah. You saw that in the playoff game against San Francisco when San Francisco, as a popular YouTuber described, taught a masterclass getting down the field, running the football, and stuck it in the end zone for a 7-0 lead. And, a lot of people saying, oh, the Cowboys will come back. You know what? I had people text me while I was at work that day, and I watched that drive play by play by play. I had Cowboy fans texting me, this game's over. And the Cowboys didn't respond.
Yeah, because the physicality was too great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We've been somewhat of a finesse team. I think Michael Parsons is helping to change that.
Yeah, he is.
But if we get hit in the mouth, a couple times, we start to kind of whimper.
Yeah, because the Cowboys really did in that game recover and actually show fight until the fourth quarter. And it seemed as if they were on their heels the first three. And that game was that game was such a microcosm of how I've viewed the Cowboys as of late.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, man, you all love to do the pretty stuff, but get down dirty and get the knuckles bloody. Nah, you ain't about that life.
Nope.
Yeah.
And they haven't been about that. And I hate saying this, but let's just call a spade a spade. They haven't been about that life since they drafted Dak Prescott and inserted him into the lineup.
Yeah. I think they've been that way for a while. Probably the Parcells days. I think they had some of that gritty toughness.
Mm-hmm.
All the Jason Garrett years, they didn't have it. They played the tie, and now with McCarthy, who's another fluffy teddy bear type coach, it's the same thing, and it's really not going to change until you get a hard-nosed coach that teaches toughness.
Who would be that coach for them? Because we all see and can feel McCarthy's not going to work out.
McCarthy ain't it.
He's a lame duck coach.
McCarthy ain't it.
He was a lame duck coach as soon as he signed the contract with the Cowboys.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
we don't know who they want.
Who would be that? Who would be that?
Oh, they want Sean Payton.
Yes, right.
They want Sean Payton, but they're gonna have to get a defensive coordinator still. That's the thing.
Course.
Sean Payton's not a defensive coach. Obviously, he's the offensive mastermind.
Mm-hmm.
So they still would have to get a defensive coordinator, which I don't know who would be best, but I think probably a young up and coming defensive coordinator, maybe D'Amico Ryans, who's at Houston, down where you are, maybe somebody like that, or just a previous head coach that's a defensive minded coach that may become available. But I think right as of right now, no, they don't have it. And I like the defensive coordinator we have now. I think he's great, and I think he's getting these guys ready. This is the second year, so we should see more of a toughness. But if McCarthy's leading the team, it's not going to be tough. But I do have to run. I'm sorry I came on a little bit late, but I will be better next week.
We look that is all right. Ben. That is all right. You joined us. He joins us every Friday. That's Ben Sutter, the man in charge of the BS3 TV and the BS3 network. Thank you, Ben. Appreciate the time.
Thank you so much, Ben.
No problem. Have a great show.
You too, brother.
Ben Sutter joining us. And Chris Dietz has a great comment. Anytime a team becomes one-dimensional, they already lost. The media myth is that running games are boring. But to football fans, like the 3 on this screen and the ones in the chat, it's more fun to watch a well-rounded offense
and one that gives a crap.
I got something to say. Hold on, though. I got something to say.
Go ahead.
This goes out to all the Mets fans out there. Happy Bobby Bonilla
Day.
Right?
The best contract ever signed.
Happy Bobby Bonilla Day, you guys.
Ever. Best contract negotiated ever. All right, we're 5 minutes away from the Boom Shakalaka. Oh boy. Y'all want to laugh? Be prepared to laugh, because this show is about to go off the rails. But I'll share this before we go to break. When my new computer arrived, I waited until my wife got the monitor that I have right now, and I'm in the process of ordering 2 new monitors. And thanks to that tag that Wise did on Instagram, I know the monitors that I want now. Yeah, your monitors. the ones that you have, something similar to that. But I'm in love with this computer because it has 16 gigs of RAM, and as y'all can see, everything's clear and running great. All the audio systems are up and going. All our audio networks are up and going. Yeah, I spent most of the afternoon and the evening getting this ready. There's a couple other tricks that I need to put together. All right, let's go to a break. 31 after the hour. The Boom Shakalaka when y'all get back.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.
Dad?
Just 1 minute, okay?
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
LeBron James is trash as a basketball player.
Wow.
I will say that one more time.
You said it so easily.
I've been saying it for 20 years. 20 years.
It came fluidly out of your mouth, like it flowed like waters of a fall, just dropping off a cliff.
Oh, you mean this sentence right here?
Quote
LeBron James as a basketball player is pure, unadulterated trash and has been for 20 years.
Close quote.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
35 after the hour. We're in the midst of hour number 2. And Cole, you have something to introduce, don't you?
Yes, I do. And it goes a little something like this.
Don't soil this program by putting crap on it. Joe Buck, I cannot take him. I just no dice. I'm glad Carlos Boozer took the kiwi off. It should be on your shoes, not kiwis. Not kiwis. It's kiwis for God's sake. LeBron should come about his age. I wish Baby Jesus had in this container. Because I need some after watching Stephen A.
Baby Jesus. Really?
6 pounds, 7 ounce. Go tell 5 of your friends and 8 of your enemies that Chris Bay will be in the air.
And that's just the introduction.
That's just part of what goes on during hour 2 on Fridays. Good morning, Chris. We love you, brother. Thanks for coming on again.
Oh, as always, good morning, gentlemen. To the Rain Man, to Cole Johnson, to Wise. Look, man, I'm a part of 3 the hard way right now.
That's right. Yes, sir.
Man, I love what you said, Whitney, in part of that intro. Simply put, he just goes, Joe Buck, I just can't take him.
Yeah, like I said before, the hell with Joe Buck. I mean, really, if there's a good place for him in hell right now, just stop wasting time and have a seat. And
minute number 1.
No, seriously. I told this before on this platform and the programs before.
Well, he's in hell right now. He's with ESPN. Him and Troy Aikman.
Well, his wife works over there, so I get it. You want to be with the wifey and things like that.
Yep.
You want to work together. That's great.
Too, yeah,
I give it to him. But God damn it, from the standpoint of him as a broadcaster is concerned, I said it before. He reminds me of the guy in high school or college who tried to be cool and can never pull it off. He just has that yuck factor about him. Hey guys, how's it going, man? Give me some dab. Dude, you're not cool. Put your fist back. I ain't touching nothing.
The yuck factor.
The yuck factor. That's right.
Oh my goodness.
We just got a new soundbite we got to put in. The yuck factor.
I mean, yuck.
Because there are so many things in life that gives you the yuck factor.
It's disgusting.
It is.
It really is.
It is. And the other comment, and I know we could take this to the top of the hour.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I had alcohol in this cup for every time there's a comment about one Screaming A. Smith.
I would be drunk.
Okay?
I'd be a drunk bastard. I really would, because look, I would give me some tequila, and I would give me some, beer. I would give me some whiskey or bourbon, and all at the same time.
Mix it together.
Mix it all together.
Yep.
Oh, Lord.
Because that's what you need to deal, not just with Screaming A. We talked about this earlier in the program with these debate shows that are on the air right now.
Well,
I mean, you know what? I got room here in my office / studio for like a 55-gallon can, because when Stephen A. had his radio show and it failed 3 separate times, 1 local, 2 national.
Good. You can't tell me there's no God.
There's a God, all right.
God is good all the time.
Isn't he? And would you know it, the last time that he had his radio show, I agree with Bass. The last time that he had his radio show, it ended the night of the national championship when LSU beat up Clemson. I celebrated that day.
Yeah, and I can imagine Screaming A. Smith being Clemson, getting beat on.
Look, he picked Clemson.
Yeah, he picked Clemson.
Well, see, there you go. That proves my point.
Yep, point proven. He picked Clemson, and LSU beat their asses. Okay?
But this is actually a good spot to somewhat begin. So, what do you think, sir, about Negro Night and his feud with Uncle AWOL, the woke people's champion?
The rebel without a pause.
Kyrie Irving.
The thing about Negro Night is that he'll pick a fight with anybody, and sometimes it's not valid. Like for example, the whole thing he has with what's his name? Stan Laurel, Skip Bayless. Yeah, he looks like Stan Laurel from back in the day of Laurel and Hardy. He has no emotion on his face. Everything is. Type, he gets on my damn nerve with that, so like that's manufactured.
It is.
That's a manufactured feud because all they want to do is hype the other side, get media going, get numbers going, and it's like the WWF or WWE or any wrestling fraction that deals with manufactured drama or shootouts as they call it.
Yep.
That you take from there. It's the same process. And the thing about when it comes to Screaming A. Smith, I don't give two damns who he talks about and goes after because everything, the act is sour. The act is old. Call me old school, which I am.
Yes.
I prefer Dan Patrick. I'll take Dan Patrick's show over anybody's show any day of the week. The man is completely consummate professional, very at ease on the mic, knows his stuff, and brings the best out of all his guests. I'm at awe every time I watch his program. He is one of the best.
He's a smooth operator on the mic. Yeah,
but he's lights out. He's lights out.
Pleasure. Him, Rich Eisen, and
Keith Olbermann,
a buddy of mine that who shows another guilty pleasure, Rod Peterson up in Canada. All those guys fill my sports talk days.
And exactly,
they get my attention, and I'm following the advice of a friend of mine in terms of seeking sponsors and see what their sponsors are. But Base, you said it best. They're so smooth on the mic, and you don't see it as work for them, just like you don't see it as work for us. All their stuff happens, all their work happens behind the scenes to get ready. But man,
absolutely.
But when you have a great crew like we have here, like Dan Patrick has, Rich Eisen, Rod Peterson, and I've had most of their crew on the show. When you have the right crew, then it ain't work. It just isn't.
And it's funny you mentioned that because I was going into a rant and this ramps it up. I've been doing broadcasting now going on 30 years, and I'm very blessed to stay in the game as I try to. And the one pet peeve that's gone on my nerve for years, or people come up to me or reach out to me, I can do that.
No,
I can do what you do.
No, you can't.
If I can get away with choking people, I would choke the yit out of you.
Oh,
really? Because I mean, I gotta lay hands on you.
You can see his hands. You can see his hands.
Yeah, look, man, look, I ain't playing. Look at that.
See that size his hands.
I agree.
I ain't playing
because Base
Kawhi Leonard be envious.
Because people say the same to me when they see me set up for a play-by-play broadcast, and I had one guy come up to me for a baseball broadcast. For a baseball broadcast, I'm getting lineups. I'm putting them in my book on my computer, lining up all my commercials, getting everything ready. And this one young buck, you think you're so special because you can do that. I can do what you do. I put my headset down and I walked away. I said, okay,
let's see.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
And I stood behind him as he tried to figure out everything that's going on. He couldn't. And I grabbed him by his shirt and I said, "You listen, you young whippersnapper," which is not what I said, but
you cussed him out.
I did. I let him have it.
Yeah.
With his mother standing right there and his father applauding. And I said, "Don't you ever challenge a 20-year veteran who knows what he's doing again. If you want to learn, I will teach you. But you challenge me like that again, and you get no love from me. Now beat it."
Well,
Never heard from him again.
I completely understand. We're talking, and people hear it obviously, and they think they can do that. I get that off the bat, but it's something called the art of conversation that they do not understand.
Yes.
Right. And as you said before, Rayman, the hard work is off the mic. That's where, like any other profession, whether it's basketball, football, soccer, baseball, the hard work is off the field, off the court.
Yes,
so
it
by
is.
the time you hit the court, field, or microphone, you are completely ready.
You're completely prepared.
Absolutely. That's
You're
all.
You're completely prepared. That's one of the reasons, like I said, I love the crew that I have, because Cole comes with it with the slate that what we're going to talk about for the show. Wise comes in Thursdays and Fridays, helps things along. Great guests like you that come on that come on every week. And what people don't understand is the prep that we put into it, with all the graphics, with all of the intros that we put together. And thank you, Cole Johnson, for that.
Absolutely.
And every week, beginning next Sunday, I'm going to have something called the Best of Snowman in the Morning. Take the best segments throughout the week, and of course, bass is going to be one of them.
Oh, well, thank you.
Each week, we got to have bass on the best of. People said to cap it at an hour, but with so many great segments that we have, I think it's going to be capped at 2 hours of the best of during the week. Chris Bass joins us as he does every Friday morning, talking broadcast shop. And again, let's go back to a point that we made. All four of us have made. The work happens, especially for a sports talk show, a good sports talk show. All the work happens behind the scenes on a daily basis, man.
It happens. Yeah, you have to put in the work, or else you won't get the producing product when you do it. And you can always improvise. You'll go back to the lab and experiment with certain things, and then try things out. I prep 3 hours before I hit the mic. That's my thing. I got 3 shows that I do Wednesday through Friday. I prep
Bass got some great shows.
I love read show. Yep.
I love bass shows. I love bass shows.
I am hooked on watching
Fridays. I'm
bass
hooked
shows.
on Fridays. I've been on vacation, so I haven't been able to catch it. But I always pop in there and show my love.
Same.
I enjoy watching.
Yeah, you drop heat. You drop heat on Fridays, my man.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And we love you for it. We're all hooked on watching bass on Fridays, and folks love him here. But when he drops his heat on Friday afternoons, you're glued.
If you think it's fire here, yes.
This is light.
Oh no,
okay?
Yes.
This is one dude,
because we only have him for a half hour.
He has this one dude that comes every Friday and tells him to start over, and bass just goes off on him every Friday,
every week.
Every Friday.
That's Walter's dumbass.
He comes and tells bass to start over, and bass just goes in on him.
He goes,
how stupid can you get? I'm halfway in the show.
Right.
My wisdom is going. I'm on a roll.
Right.
And this burnt Negro tells me to start over.
This is every week, folks.
This is every week. Oh, man.
Every week. Get this. He's a broadcaster, too.
Negro.
He's a broadcaster, too. And his dumb ass going to tell me to start over at halfway to the show. I'm like, dude, please let me choke the hell out of you. Please, I beg of you.
Look,
let me just lay hands on you. Don't pass out into oblivion. Please
don't be catching cases like Robert Kelly up in here.
Please don't.
My man got 30
Look, hey,
years,
man,
30
I'm
years.
those dominoes. I'm gonna choke the crap out of you. Let me say the blessing. I'm going to pray to once again to 6 pounds, 7 ounces of baby Jesus before I choke the life out of you. You got to get out of here. You got to go. I'm sorry.
Start over.
And the funny thing is, he comes back every week.
I know, right?
With the same line?
Yes. Start over.
Yes.
Start over. Start over.
Yeah. I'm going to start calling that. His name ain't Walter no more. His name is Start Over.
Listen, the first time I saw that and heard him say "start over," I put my headset down and I walked away laughing.
Oh, I didn't know what he was talking about. And then when I started reading the chats, and this dude comes and start over, and he's just going in on him. I'm like, okay, who the hell? And then every week is the same.
Every week is the same thing.
Look, man,
it's just like every week we deal with these blankety blank cotton picking bronze sexuals.
Oh Lord!
That's
just,
Walter.
That's something different, man. Walter's just he's listen. You can't. He comes every week. He gives the bases support. He's there supporting base every week.
Exactly.
He's coming and get abused.
Right.
He's the person that Base talked about earlier that tries to be cool but isn't.
Oh no!
No, he's actually a cool brother. It's just he's stupid. I can't make it more plain than that. And I'll take a line from Harlem Nights. I'll just change the verbiage.
Okay.
Please take this ass whipping personally. Please do.
Not with the stammering included. Oh
yes.
Lord, man.
Please take it personally. Please. Take it. So some people just want to be abused, I guess. As Wise says, he look, Wise knows the burnt Negro comes back every Friday for me to go upside his head.
Burnt.
Yes.
Burnt. Yes. It's like it's like, yes, sir, might have another. Yes, sir, might have another. Yes, sir, might have another. Yeah.
Oh Lord, you might as well call him Wile E. Coyote because he seems to not learn his lesson.
Exactly.
Because he gets beat up because he gets blown up in one scene and comes back with another harebrained scheme in another.
Mm-hmm.
That
Rat
backfires
bastard.
worse.
Rat bastard.
Oh my gosh!
Look, if there was an idea for the salt bastard, Walter would be it.
No, he'd be the rat bastard.
He's the rat bastard. Okay.
No, really, and some people can't be saved. I understand that. Look, as the Grand Poobah talk, which is who am I? I try my best to let my people know that I am here for you on a Friday when we free our minds to expand on how you feel. But this Mother Hubbard does not understand the process, and he keeps coming back for more. Like I said before, he's a glutton for punishment.
I swear it's Wile E. Coyote.
Yeah,
it's Wile.
Yes,
I swear it's Wile E. Coyote.
It doesn't matter what Base is talking about. It's like
no,
and then he just comes in and just start over, and Base is like, this Negro,
right?
What? Burnt Negro.
Base gets so mad. Yo, Base gets so mad. You can see the steam coming out of his ears. You can see the steam coming out of his ears. There you go.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You can see the steam coming out of his ears.
I'm telling you, because
like,
it makes no sense. Please, baby Jesus, allow me to put 5 on it.
Yes.
I got 5 on it.
That's right. I'm gonna choke your Negro ass. I got 5 on it.
You know
maybe this Friday you get a pass. I got
5 on it.
Yeah.
I'm sick and tired of your rap. I got 5 on it. You come again, I'll give you a slap.
Yeah. Yeah, we gotta make a song about that. I leave up to the brilliance of Cole Johnson.
Cole Johnson, you got to make a song out of that now. You got to make a song out of that now, and we play it only on Fridays. Everybody has to have a hand in it.
Yeah.
Everybody has to have a hand. Everybody has to have a hand in that song.
Oh Lord!
Because if y'all watch Chris Bass's show on Friday, Free Your Mind Friday, and you hear Walter say "start over," then you'll understand why the steam comes out of his ears, why the hands go up, and why we're creating this song. We got 5 on it.
Remember the Three Stooges who did the bit
Yes.
Niagara Falls?
Yes.
Slowly I turn.
I turn.
Yeah, that's what happens to me when Walter does that dumb stuff. Right. Inch by inch.
By inch.
Right.
By inch.
Exactly. That's what happens to me on Friday when Walter does that start over
And
crap.
they
I turn.
And they chase Curly as the scene fades to black.
Yeah.
That's Chris going after Walt. That's Chris going, hey, start over. Slowly I turn.
That's right.
Step by step.
There you go.
Inch by inch. Walter takes off and paces.
Yeah. No, I had to capture that
As
dude
the
to put him in a
scene
figure 4 leg lock.
Okay. I'll couple that.
Yes.
I'll couple that with a Stone Cold Stunner.
Anything you could lay on the brother's noggin, please do.
A last ride, a tombstone, a jackknife power bomb. Okay?
I'll even go back to old school with Jimmy Superfly Snooker.
Yes.
Off the top rope.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. A DDT from Jake the Snake, since we're talking old school.
There you go.
Jake the Snake with a DDT.
Absolutely.
All right? You mentioned the Superfly way off the top rope with the original frog splash. All right.
I'm generally a peaceful man. I think I was a monk in my former life. I'm generally a peaceful man. Really, I am. But in this situation, when it comes down to him,
you need violence.
I condone violence. Yes, I do. Only to one person.
Only
I
one
was
person,
a monk
in
my former life. Oh Lord.
Cole, I'm gonna cut this, and you gotta have that line. I think it was and he said it so calmly. This is what bass is until Walter shows up.
Yeah.
I think I was a monk in my former life.
Yeah.
and then Walter shows up. Start over, and you just see bass go crazy. Okay, that's the only time you see him lose it, and it's every single week with this guy.
Oh my gosh,
it's sad.
It's sad. It's like when we peruse social media and we see these idiots.
Oh good Lord. That's why I can relate.
We all work in media. We all work in 21st century media, which is social media on steroids.
Basically,
it's social media on steroids. But when you find these idiots, and believe me, there's some idiots.
Yeah, some.
Bae, show the hand again, please. That is your fate. Putting 5 on. How did Red Fox put it? I'll give you 5 of these across your lips.
Thank you.
Absolutely. When you balled up a fist, that's what came. I'll give you 5 of these across your lips. You big dummy.
Absolutely.
Listen, we dealt. Bass and I dealt with some big dummies when we were at PSI Radio, trying to tell us how we should do our sports show. Bass comes in, I come in, we lay out everything, and then I swear to God, people come in saying, why don't you talk about this? Why don't you put this in? And this is after Bass and I are already prepared to go. This is after Bass and I are already prepared to go. And we just look at him. And Bass would calm me down because I wanted to say something. And Bass is like, Rain Man, we're just going to handle it the way we handle it. Okay. And that's when all the emails come in of people complimenting our show. And then they realize. And
yeah, there's a method to all this.
Bill said the stupidest thing to me one day when he says, and this is when we're like 2 months in. He goes, I think you all are on to something.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, I mean, look.
Bass, this is for you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
I wanted
hand back. And the fist of fury. I completely agree.
I wanted to. If this was full of liquor,
oh Lord,
when we worked at PSI,
good
and you know
Lord.
the 2 bottles I brought in were frozen.
Yes,
because it was hotter than hell in that studio.
Yes, it was. I saw Satan myself.
That's hot.
Look,
it was hot. No, it really was.
By the time I got to the second bottle, it was melted and it was warm.
Wow.
Well, in the experience that we had at PSI Radio, which again I definitely have love for because that's where Baseline was born.
Yes.
When I had left the big sports show and Brian took over as the lead and I morphed into creating Baseline. So I always have love for PSI. And I've always understand the fact that, people mean well, but sometimes people don't think before they speak. And the dumb stuff comes out.
Yes.
So that's where you get that from. So I completely understand. Nobody's exempt. I was the same way, but I realized, hey, knucklehead, why don't you think before you speak? And that way you can process, everything better. So yeah, you're gonna get people saying dumb stuff. And I think certain people at the same time like what we were doing and just want to be a part of it in some way. And when I look back on it, me being the veteran and Brian being the rook, you were my rook. So I looked after you. So I don't want you, going to somebody's head and your ass just got there. No, you can't have you leaving like that.
I wanted to go oops upside the head on a couple of people.
Well, yeah, but leave the oops upside the head to the song and not doing it in public because we just got there. That was one of your first gigs.
Want to dance? Don't mean that I don't want to.
That was slicker than jail.
Yes. 10-on-1 as we head into hour 3. You just had some of the greatest minutes with Chris Bass. He joins us every Friday at the bottom of hour 2. He takes us into hour 3. And Bass, I love you, brother. Thank you so much for coming on as always. And I promise I'm cutting this, and this will be one of the premieres when I put it on the playlist. I love you, brother. Thank you so much.
I love you all more. Thank you all for your support of my programs. I support what you guys do it well. We all do it together. So thank you so much.
Right,
yes.
That's right.
I'll be there later on today.
Same here.
Thank you.
I'm gonna be
editing. You can watch me go off and just and real quick.
I'm gonna be editing like crazy on one screen and I'll have Bass on the other screen, ready for him to go off and when Walter says start over. Oh
yeah, that rat bastard. So the best way to get in contact with me real quick, go to facebook.com and type in Chris Bass, CHRIS, B as in broadcasting, ASE. See my likeness. We'll become friends. Click on to all my social media talk programs, especially today on Friday at 4 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. on the West Coast. It will be Baseline. When you free your mind, your yas always follows. Yeah. Go tell 5 of your friends and 8 of your enemies that Chris Bass will be in the air.
Not on the air, but in the air. I love it. I love it. Thank you, Bass. I love you.
Thank you, gentlemen. Love you more. Take care, brothers.
Take care of you, man.
Man.
That brother there.
Every Friday.
Yes.
Every Friday.
Without fail.
Without fail. Absolutely. Absolutely. A break. And then Cole will take us into hour 3 as I have to step away for a moment, but I will be back and Mike Debate will be back as we talk football and NFC South. Not South, South. SOUF, South. And yes, I did that with the purpose for laughter. And I'll explain the other part of the purpose at the end of the show. All right, hour 3 when y'all get back.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
BS3 Network. Changing the way you watch TV.
Play Eric Amarola's Race Day Mix.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up?
And they give those guys a little extra weight. Roger Craig, still on his feet, still running. What a run by Roger Craig. You'll never see a better one than that. From 46 yards.
He has that thing of getting those knees high and keeping the shoulders low. And he makes every team look like they're bad tacklers. Watch the way he gets that high knee action, keeps those feet going like two pistons. Then, at the same time that the knees are going high and keeping going, the shoulder can get low to take on a tackler.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Hey, this promises to be fun.
Oh, yeah.
Can't wait.
Are you kidding me? Do you believe it?
Snowman in the Morning, weekdays, 8 a.m. Eastern, live.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made home ownership happen. Homeschooling yourself on loans, beefing up your credit score.
So I'm pre-approved.
You were like, yes! Sorry. Color coding listings, ticking boxes, and flushing every toilet in a 20-mile radius. Home sweet home. You aced house hunting. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up?
Malone will inbound. Fisher's in the game. Walton, O'Neal, and of course Bryant.
And everyone is paying attention to Kobe Bryant.
They start with Shaq. He gives it to Walton. Here comes Kobe. Less than 5 from way outside. Got it! Oh, man! With 2.1.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Hey, this promises to be fun.
Oh, yeah.
Can't wait.
Are you kidding me? Do you believe it?
Our number 3 is here. Snowman here. Wise El Jefe there. Cole Johnson there. It's Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. Our number 3, as I mentioned just a moment ago. And peace and love and rest in power to the great Kobe Bean Bryant. I had to make that an intro. I had to.
So you saw your Bulls sign Drummond, huh?
Yep, 2 years.
Yeah.
2 years. Got some rebounding power now.
Yeah.
Got some rebounding power. Just don't foul him late in the game. Oh, no. I got introduced to a new term.
New term.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. You remember what I said earlier about the conversation I had with David Anthony? And then Cole went off in the midst of his breakfast.
Kyle M. Effin Rittenhouse.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm still steamed from the first hour about that. I'm sorry.
And you should be. And you absolutely should be. He said, wait, let me find this. Let me find this. David Anthony responded, put his foot in his mouth and said,
quote,
"You trans bronzexuals are something else."
What the close quote?
What?
And I said, trans bronzexuals?
I'm getting too old for this.
Exactly. And he gave me a
tone
definition.
English, do you speak it?
You may want to play that again after I read this definition.
Oh, Lord, no.
I said trans bronzexuals. He says, A person who identifies himself as a LeBron hater, but can't stop thinking about him and talks about him daily. Close quote.
Bitch, please.
Mm-hmm. Keep them coming.
What? You know your damn role and shut your damn mouth.
You for real?
Bitch, are you for real?
Mm-hmm.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
And
Tone dead.
So good.
Age.
All right, so
transsexual.
That's not me, so I'm not worried about it.
I'm glad. That's certainly not me.
Transsexual.
Because I don't talk about him only when I come in.
A transsexual.
English. Woo. Hell no. To the no, no, no. Hell to the no. Hell to the no. To the no, no, no.
I'm sorry.
I wanted to set that one up, but that's okay. That's fine. Oh my gosh!
Stop the cap, please.
A trans Bron.
And for you, Cole, let's finish it.
English. Do you speak it?
Because I know most of these broadsexuals don't speak English. Oh my gosh! Wow.
Like there's other stuff to talk about. Like
yes,
there's more stuff
that's the reason why I came up with Bronsexual Confessions, because I would see this. This is July, and they would talk about
like
it. That's what I'm saying. July, and we're talking about him.
Again, Cole, for you.
English. Do you speak it?
This is if you wanted to know the origins, like if I ever get invited on Stuck in My Mind podcast, you ask this question.
Really? When if you ever get invited? Oh
yes.
Man, okay, we're not.
I want to get.
We're gonna leave that alone. We're gonna get back on the. We're gonna leave that one alone.
Listen, I want to get back.
You act like I've invited you already. Like
no.
I'm waiting on you. I'm waiting on you for you to tell me, hey, I'm available this day to record, and we can just record.
I'm just saying. I know you have high-profile guests on your show.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Here we go.
Listen,
no. I'm
just joking, bro. But no,
I want to get back on the Stuck in My Mind podcast. It's a brilliant show. Y'all need to check it out. It's absolutely fabulous.
Things to talk about like
this is why, like I said, whenever we have our interview,
USC, UCLA leaving the Pac-10.
Right, and they're going to the Big Ten.
Yes,
and money is the reason.
Of course, money's always the reason.
Money's always the reason.
money is the reason.
Money's all the reason.
Yeah, thank you, Wise.
Because you get 100 million per school.
Yep. You leave in the Pac-12, which is now the Pac-10, in 2024, and joining the Big Ten
as soon as 2024.
This is. Logistically, it doesn't fit, but money-wise, it does.
Yeah, money-wise, perfect sense.
Same reason Texas is going to the SEC.
Because money-wise, it makes perfect sense for them.
Mm-hmm.
Oklahoma
and Texas are going to the SEC.
Why?
Money-wise.
The money's good. Yeah.
Will they ever see an SEC championship game? No.
Maybe not.
Oh, well, I
don't know about Texas now.
USC
I don't know about
UCLA,
Texas now. They've made their 2023 classes looking pretty good.
prove it on the field from September to December.
I'm with you.
That's all I got to say.
I'm with you on that.
I mean, I love the fact that people dive into recruiting classes and ranks recruiting classes and all that. Me, I'm old school. Playing in August.
Once you start the season, Labor Day weekend, we'll see.
Yeah, buddy.
Yes, they did get Arch. That's what I'm talking about.
And
got Arch Manning, but okay.
Arch Manning to me, until I see him play on a college football field, you can have all the high school records you want. I'll give you an example. There was a fellow by the name of Rasul Harvey, aka Rocky Harvey, who played at Dunbar High School in Chicago and later played at University of Illinois. Broke the rushing record. It set some records at U of I. Didn't get a chance with the football league, and that pisses me off. But at the same time, I know Texas got Arch Manning. Prove it on the field. That's all I got to say. Andrew, with this comment, Rutgers and USC and UCLA in the same conference.
Right.
Yeah. And you know what's going to happen?
Yes.
You know what's going to happen? Their own playoff.
Oh, that's exactly what is going to happen.
They're building to their own playoff since the NCAA won't expand, and now they have no reason to expand.
Yeah.
USC and UCLA just
this would be the national champion. The national champion as presented by the Big Ten. The national champion as presented by the SEC. That's where we're headed next. Yes.
And we're headed back to split titles. And the last split title was supposed to be 2004 with USC, and I forgot who shared the title with them.
USC?
Was it? Oh no, it was LSU. It was LSU because
that's a 2000
because they beat Oklahoma
2, 3, or 4. No, not 2004. 2002.
Yeah. It's going to be two super conferences: the SEC and the Big Ten. The Pac-10 is kaput.
Yeah, Pac-10's done.
The Pac-10 is kaput.
The only way the Pac-10 can survive is if they decide to partner with Big 12. You're right.
Mm-hmm. And that's going to take some work.
And that's going to take a lot of doing.
That's going to take a lot of doing, part one. And part two, the powers that be in the NCAA may shut that idea down once they present it.
Yep.
Because now you can see it's going toward this.
And the ACC is thankful to their lucky stars they have Notre Dame attached to them.
Yep. Because Notre Dame
is still independent, but as far as basketball, yes, they have them tied.
And they're tied with football as well.
But Notre Dame plays 5 games in the ACC.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
and they're going to increase that this year.
Yeah, and
they're going to increase that. They're going to increase that this year. Notre Dame is tied to the ACC.
Yeah, now they definitely tied
in 3 major sports: baseball, basketball, and football. Pac-12 will bring in Boise and Fresno to try to survive. The key word being try. The key word being try, because how can you replace USC and UCLA, stalwarts of the Pac-10? I never could say Pac-12.
The two biggest schools in that conference
gone.
Gone.
Same thing with the Big 12.
Yep.
The 2 biggest schools in the Big 12 gone. 2 biggest schools in the Pac-12 gone.
Meanwhile, SEC grows, Big 10 grows. And you know what also logistically works for USC and UCLA? And I know it's a stupid thing to bring up, but I want you to think about this. The size of the stadiums in the SEC, save Missouri, all seat 100,000.
Yeah.
All seat 100,000. The size of the stadiums in the Big 10 average from 70 to 100,000.
But the thing is,
you got the gate,
and now you're coming to the East Coast, playing more East Coast teams. So now you're getting more time on coverage. TV. Yes,
East Coast.
So
coverage.
I see where it benefits them.
Yeah,
I see where it benefits them because now you get more exposure to the East Coast,
and you get more exposure to the Heisman Trophy.
Heisman Trophy as well. Yeah,
it's all about the money.
It's all about the,
Well,
it's all about the money.
always all about the
Three
money.
things: all about the money, all about the exposure, and all about the Heisman Trophy. Which again, with
all
the
that's
exposure,
tied to
with
money.
the exposure and the Heisman Trophy, all relates back
All
to point
tied to
one.
money.
It's all about the money. It's all about the Benjamins,
Yeah,
as the song goes.
If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense.
It don't make sense.
That is how the NCAA is rolled. Why are we surprised it still is not? It's still rolling like that today.
Do y'all remember a 30 for 30 special called Pony XS?
One of the best ones they ever did. Yes.
This is the one on MSU, isn't it?
That's one on SMU.
SMU.
That's one on SMU. Yes.
This is trending toward that.
I remember. Yeah, I remember.
We could call this Conference XS.
You know how you talked about the Last Dance, Brian, when you said you didn't have to watch it, you lived it. I didn't have to see Pony Excess, I lived it.
Yep.
Because that was huge news in Texas. I was just about to enter high school. That was a story for a full solid year. Not even sports. This would lead off newscasts.
Mm-hmm.
That's how big that scandal was. And I could see many pockets in the NCAA trending toward that particular thing, because all you have to do is try to see and sift through and find that booster.
Yep. And how many times did they sell out Texas Stadium?
Man, especially when Eric Dickerson and Craig James was in the backfield.
Mm-hmm.
Every single game that I remember they played, Texas Stadium was sold out. You thought it was a Cowboys game.
That might have been the greatest running back field in college sports ever.
And it definitely was the most explosive one I ever saw. And yes, I know that we had Reggie Bush and Lindale White and USC.
But see, these two running backs were.
Yes, they were legit. They were straight up thoroughbreds. Both of them were.
Both of them were. Yes.
Oh my gosh. They were a terror to stop. Ooh. Man, you did not want either one of those guys running downhill, because once they did, touchdown.
Yeah, you wasn't stopping them.
You weren't stopping either one of them.
Nope.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, they were exciting to watch. But it was so tragic because we saw them early, close to mid 80s, and SMU they were trying to trend toward that program to stand out in Texas, and all of a sudden that scandal hit, and that school hasn't been the same since, because they took that death penalty and they're still rebuilding that program afterwards. And we're talking 35 years later after that.
Yep.
And they're still rebuilding it. Ain't come close to the glory that they had back when they had the Pony Express. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But see, this is the thing, man. So we have that as, to me, that's the biggest news in sports. We have that. We have Brunson being a Nick. We have Beal resigning with the Wizards. We have Deshaun Watson, who decided to settle up with 20 of the 26 massage therapists, and the NFL leaking out what they're thinking is going to be the right punishment, so that they're trying to mitigate any damage that they receive and backlash that they might render once they do decide to drop the hammer on him.
Okay.
And these fools on July the 1st talk about LeBron James. That is why I created Bronze Sexual Confessions.
Okay, so we got to
alone. So
back to Deshaun Watson.
Let's talk about him, sir.
Just because he settled out of court doesn't make him guilty. Let's prove that fact right there. Let's just talk about that right there.
Okay.
Just because he settled doesn't make him guilty. He's
okay.
Let's not act like I don't want to get in trouble, but
I'll say it for you. I'll say if you ain't gonna say it, I'll say it for you, because I've said it on this show.
Mm-hmm.
It's a setup. I'm like, how many times?
I will grease the wheels for you. Some of those massage therapists are straight up hoes. There you go, sir. Go ahead.
Thank you. I didn't want to say that, but
sure you did.
You telling me some of these women didn't
Here's one account, Wise. One. This was actually in the deposition. I saw this is verbatim, and I read this, sir. I could not believe what I was reading. This was being verbatim. Quote, I saw Deshaun with his towel draped over his penile area. Then I saw him get erect. I stopped. He then proceeded to stroke himself. Tried to still do massages, but I still was in the room. He ejaculated. And he ejaculated on my breast, on my chest, and my face. That is when I decided to stop. Close quote.
You know what? You know what? I Bishop Bowen.
Hell no. To the no, no, no. Hell to the no. Hell to the no. To the no, no, no. Listen.
That was one of the dispositions read.
I got to give a quick shout out to David Anthony, the guy who coined the term transbronzexual. He paid me a very, very big time compliment when he said, all jokes aside, you're doing your thing with that show. Keep it up, bro. I love to see it. Thank you,
cool.
David.
That's cool.
Thank you, David. And
even bronzesexuals can be cool sometimes.
This is David Anthony from Dayton, Ohio. And I may just invite him on the show so we can just go back. We can just have fun and go back and forth. But I wanted to do that for him. 27 after the hour. Cole, Wise, and I won't say the curious case of Deshaun Watson because it's not that curious. And I also have the feeling this could go two ways. One, Deshaun could not get suspended at all, or he gets a minimum. And two, the Texans are going to get away scot-free.
The latter is what I believe.
Listen, with that and with Deshaun, he's going to get suspended.
Oh, he's going to get suspended.
Yeah, he's going to serve some time.
I think he's going to get the Josh Gordon treatment.
He's going to get a year. He's going to get a year.
Indefinite suspension.
He's getting a minimum.
And he's going to serve at least a year.
Yeah,
and they will revisit his status after that year. That is where I'm seeing this going.
Yes,
that's where I'm seeing it go. That's where I'm seeing it go too. The latter statement that I truly believe the Texans are going to get off scot-free.
I 100% believe that.
They're going to get off scot-free. Not even a slap on the wrist.
Dietz
made the suggestion. Dietz made the suggestion that whatever suspension Deshaun Watson gets, the Texans need to get double that. But
I root for the team, Dietz, and I agree with you.
Mm-hmm. They should lose. They should lose draft picks. They should
lose a lot of things.
Owner might suspend
a Texans
coach
fan,
suspension,
and they should be hit as hard as they possibly can get hit because they.
If only that were the case.
Yes, but I don't think that's going to happen.
If only that were the case, and it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. As unfortunate as it is, it's not going to happen. You know, and I hate that. I hate the fact. Let me just go ahead and say it again, and I will say this aloud, and a lot of us have said this aloud. But the Houston Texans started all this. They put Deshaun Watson in this position. Deshaun Watson put himself in that position, and yet the Texans are going to get away scot-free.
I don't have to say another word about that situation because that's exactly what I believe right there.
They're going to get away scot-free.
And that makes me ill.
Mm-hmm.
That makes me sick. Yes, Deshaun deserves to be punished, but if the Texans don't, that is unfair. And then on top of it, I don't even think the NFLPA will fight that.
They won't.
That is what I find even more disgusting, and it falls in line with what I've always believed about the NFLPA. They are the weakest labor union in all of professional sports, and they will prove it once again.
They're proving it now. They're not behind Deshaun Watson. They're proving it now. Where has the NFLPA been since this whole thing started?
Quiet. Ain't heard a peep from them.
And you won't either. You're hearing from them now because there's money on the line. You're hearing from them now because now they feel is the time they need to fight for their man. But where was all this when it started? When Deshaun Watson kept saying he was innocent? Where was all that? Where was the NFLPA backing him up when this blank all started? Where was that? Where were they? Where the hell was the NFLPA backing up a player that is embroiled in one hell of a controversy? Where is that organization when you need them? Can I get a witness?
Wonderful question. Wonderful question. Wise, look, I'm with you in the fact that what's not talked about is the fact that these massage therapists, most of them really aren't. I'm with you there.
They're not.
But I am with this camp as well. Dude, you were 24 years old.
Mm-hmm.
You should know better than to do this privately and to expect to have privacy when you do that, because you know somebody is going to sell you down the river, which that's exactly what happened.
Listen, I'm recording everything. Everything's being recorded. Everything. Yep. You and them massaging me, we recording this. We are recording this.
Everything. I got cameras.
You agree for this to be recorded?
I got cameras all over the place.
Thank you, Wise. Yes. Thank you, Wise.
I got cameras all over the place.
If a lot of these celebrities, I don't understand how. If I'm one of these celebrities, athletes,
can we check out your surveillance? You most certainly can. You most certainly can.
You are agreeing.
Thank you, Wise.
You are to be recorded while you're in my house.
Thank you, Wise.
And the bad part is the Texans set this whole thing up by sending
set it all up.
They set the whole thing up. Here's King Dawkins, Ivan Dawkins, joining us as we come down the stretch here. Good morning, my friend.
Good morning, fellas. How y'all doing? It's a cold, cold world. You heard?
What up?
What up? What's that, Rain Man? I've been enjoying the energy this morning, man. Chris Bates, boy, that dude. I need to renegotiate my contract. I can't be coming on after that cat, man.
You can.
You can't do that to me, man.
Oh man.
Sure you can. All we gotta do, listen.
He's one of a kind, just like you, my man.
Listen, you want to get Ivan Dawkins started? All you gotta do is mention two words: Dallas Cowboys.
Now, Lord. Well, let me just say this. Those two words need to be Dallas Mavericks today, because Dallas Cowboys ain't moving the needle.
Well, I can be in this conversation then.
See,
okay.
And speaking of the Mavericks, you lose Jalen Brunson. Let me start with Ivan. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah. Well, before I do that, let me just say this about the Cowboys for Cole. The most exciting news that the Cowboys have had in the last month has been hey, Jerry's love child notwithstanding, with all due respect to that, okay? But the most exciting news is that we have gotten fined, Mike McCarthy got fined $100,000 for having a practice that was too physical. He promptly responded by having a team activity for day 2 of the organized team activity, OTA, as you may know them as, and canceled completely day 3. They also lose an OTA session in 2023. Very exciting, right? Absolutely not.
For $100,000.
Yeah.
Dropping the bucket. And I love you brought up Jerry's love child notwithstanding.
Thank you, because that is the most exciting Cowboy story of the last month.
And I have a 2-word question. Which one?
Yeah, the one that we have been notified by, should I say?
I will repeat my question. Which one?
Because Gerard's wild in these streets.
Gerard may look shriveled up, but I swear to God, if you want to compare owners on levels of scandal, Jerry Jones and Robert Kraft.
That's it.
That's all I need to say.
Yeah. In fact, there's a new term for what you get at a massage parlor. We call it a crafty now. It's not a happy ending anymore. It's called the crafty.
It's nowhere near a happy ending.
So
it's
in another
nowhere near a happy ending. Man.
Yeah, and another small story that happened, Jerry did get into a little bit of a fender bender with a DoorDash driver. So we were excited for about 2 hours trying to figure out, because he was on Harry Hines, which in Dallas, Texas is a well-known prostitute strip. Okay. Now there are two different ends of Harry Hines. So he was on the business end of Harry Hines, let's just call it. But we were on pins and needles for about 2 or 3 hours saying, okay, what juiciness can we get out of this? But again, that's the most exciting Cowboys news we have for now.
I love it. Jerry Jones is an 80-year-old hoe. I love it.
Harry Hines in Dallas. Harry Hines in Dallas is like Rush Street in Chicago.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Anybody who is familiar with the city of Chicago is familiar with Rush Street, and if you got any kind of sense, stays away.
Well, let me just say this. If you see my big black truck, that 2500 HD GMC on Harry Hines, mind your business. That's all I'm going to say. Mind your business. Don't come for me.
There it is. But King Dawkins joining us here as we come down the stretch here in hour number 3, and we're just all over the place.
Yeah. Let's talk about this Dallas Mavericks, man. I got some thoughts on this Jalen Brunson, man.
Okay. All right, let's do it. We'll start with Jalen Brunson. Your thoughts on Jalen Brunson going to the Knicks and the hole it leaves with the Mavericks?
Right. Well, first of all, let me just set the table in the fact that I'd like to say that I was one of the first people on board with the drafting of Jalen Brunson. I was shocked that he made it to the second round. This guy's pedigree with his dad and then Jay Wright at Villanova. I mean, it was like, you want to talk about a sure thing. We talk about that when we talk about QBs in the NFL, right? And stuff like that. But you want to talk about a sure thing because of the pedigree and where this kid came from. So the fact that he got to us, I was tickled pink, right? So what he's turned into, I'm not surprised by any stretch of the imagination. However, he's not worth the kind of money he got. Period. He's not worth the kind of money it would have taken us to keep him, which would have been around $30 million a year. And based on what I'm hearing, that wouldn't have did it anyway for him.
Right.
He had his heart set on being the man at a franchise, which I can't blame him. I give him kudos for that. Because guess what? If we can tie this back to LeBron for just a second, remember some of the playoffs when this dude didn't even want to take the last damn shot and he's supposed to be the greatest of all time and he deferring to other players? At the very least, you got to give Brunson some credit in the fact that he's got enough nuts to say, I want to have my own squad. A lot of people would have said, shit, I can sit here in Cadillac because I got Luka.
Right.
But he wanted his own squad. So I give him credit for that. As far as the hole that it leaves, not hard to fill.
I agree with that.
And I'm gonna leave it that simple. Not hard to feel.
I agree. Considering that you now, I think, have a more confident in the NBA Luka, and I think that helps a lot. So, I think if Luka could actually feel as though that he can just ball the way he did in the first 2 rounds of the playoffs this past year,
right?
He actually, by his own will, can take that team back to where they were eliminated last year. I really believe that. So I agree with that assessment. I think the Mavericks hurt a little by depth, but that's it.
And let me address that because that's a great point. So think about this. This is another reason. Am I really afraid to lose somebody who just a year before in the playoffs was relegated to the bench in favor of Trey Burke?
Right.
I mean, really? I mean, I don't care who the coach is, because guess what? Coaches want to win at the end of the day, right? If we're at the NBA level, it's a very rare circumstance when we get a coach who makes it personal with the player and sits a player on the bench that gives him a best chance to winning. That ain't happening a lot because he knows his job is tied to it, right? So as far as depth is concerned, you got to understand you got Timmy Hardaway coming back, number one. Number two, you're going to have Spencer Dinwiddie on a complete offseason. And then I also believe they're going to bring his boy Goran Dragic back to the squad as well on the veterans minimum. So we lost Boban as far as his security blanket, Luka's security blanket, right? Because all big time players, you give them one roster spot to say you can have your boy on the roster, you know. And Boban was him, but I think now Goran Dragic is going to be the other one. So I think they'll give him that. And see, this is where the depth is going to come in, is because the older Luka gets, you got to start load managing him now, as far as I'm concerned.
Yes.
So you don't want to just give away those games when you're having to sit him on the bench or on a second night of a back-to-back or something like that. You don't want to have to just count those games as losses. So I think personally that Timmy Hardaway, Dinwiddie, and if you get Dragic in here, I think between those three, you can withstand some of those off nights for Luka.
And you got the addition of Woods. So
Oh yeah. And then, you know, like I said, a lot of people are not excited about the JaVale McGee kind of situation and whatnot. But I'm telling you right now, I got a lot of faith and confidence in Jason Kidd and Luka in terms of being able to make whoever they are better. Not just with their play on the court, but in their relationship building skills. Me and Snowman had a very good conversation last week, and it didn't have a hell of a lot to do with sports at all. And guess what? Our relationship grew stronger last week, right? And I think that's what Jason Kidd and Luka Doncic have in common, is that whoever they interact with, they happen to build a relationship with those guys. And when that happens, it actually translates to play on the floor. Because if you feel good about the people that's coaching you and that you're suiting up with, you're going to give your best efforts most of the time.
And the one thing they missed to me was a presence down low.
Yeah, no doubt.
Even defensively, for sure.
No doubt.
JaVale McGee fits that mold.
No doubt.
Ever
since Tyson Chandler departed, we've been lacking in that area, and I don't think anybody would question that.
Right. JaVale McGee does fit that presence and his pedigree. I watched JaVale McGee play at Hales Franciscan. I watched McGee play at Hales Franciscan in Chicago all the way through college and to the NBA. I know that talent for a minute.
Right.
It's just great to see him have championships now.
That's right.
B,
3.
be able to bring that pedigree.
Yeah, no doubt.
A team that needs it.
That's right.
Needs it bad.
And that's a great point. In fact, last year at the end of the playoffs, when we were, there was a lot of gnashing about of the teeth and wringing of the hands trying to figure out where we went wrong, right, in the playoffs and what we needed to do next. A veteran presence in the locker room was one of the things that we didn't have, right? Luka got the benefit of Dirk Nowitzki for one season.
Yes.
You'd like to have had 2 or 3 seasons with a veteran presence that had been there that can show you how to navigate your way through the league in terms of not only what you do on the court, but what you do off the court in terms of nutrition and maybe being out partying and stuff like that. He had one of the worst examples next to him for the last year and the year before in the unicorn. And that's not who you want to model yourself after on what to do off the court, because you'll end up in some rape cases or something like that. So that's not what you want to do.
Miles Bridges, take a lesson.
Yeah. Oh, man. You want to talk about a dude that's cost himself some money, much money in the last 2 weeks.
Listen, I have 4 words, and a lot of people in Charlotte are not going to like what I'm going to say, but Miles Bridges is finished.
Yeah, pretty close to it, man. I don't know the details of this, but what I do know, man, is that he's cost himself a truckload of money. Okay, and you may be right, Snowman. It might be a wrap because let me put it like this: right now, we've overcorrected as a society in terms of domestic violence. Okay, we've overcorrected. We didn't pay it enough attention for how many centuries. Right now, we've overcorrected to where even just a hint of domestic violence, you got a black mark that you may not be able to get off.
Yep. And unfortunately for Miles Bridges, and I will say this statement again, Miles Bridges is finished.
Yeah. Hey, I don't have a lot in the way of an argument with that.
Because anytime, and you just said it, overcorrection when it comes to domestic violence. I don't condone it. My wife's been through it. I've been through it. When you've been through it, you have a soft spot for it. Okay. Yeah. And as I've gotten to know Jody over the years, and stories have come out about what she's been through, same with me, I have a soft spot for anyone.
Yeah, me too, man. Yeah, me too.
Through domestic violence. And here's where we get off the sport. Here's where we get off the sports board, and we take the rest. We take the rest of the show, and I'm going to say something real because there are 4 men on this panel, and I want people to listen carefully. Men go through it more than women do.
Hey, to be perfectly honest, we had a show on Queen, 3, and King probably about 6 months ago, and we addressed this, and we had on an expert, and she said that the number of unreported domestic violence situations where men are the victim would be staggering if America knew it. But there is a stigma attached to it to where men do not want to talk about it.
Yeah, they don't want to say
it. They do not want to talk about it.
Because when you call, if you call or something like that, they think it's a joke. Like,
no doubt.
Especially if the guy's a big dude and his wife is smaller than him.
Yeah,
they think it's a joke, or they think the guy's weak. Yeah,
they're not gonna give credence to it. Yeah,
I'll share my story. When I lived in LaPorte, Indiana, was dating a young lady named Jody Dials, and yes, I call people out on this show. People don't like when I do. People don't like. Oh, you shouldn't reveal their names. F that. People need to know how Snowman ticks.
Yeah,
and it goes like this. Jody Dials and I were dating. We had just gotten an apartment together, but something in my soul did not sit right. She didn't want to stay at the apartment with me, and she'd rather go somewhere else. This was I finally figured out the puzzle. It takes, man, when you're in love, you do stupid things.
Don't we all?
You do stupid things. I stuck around when I shouldn't have stuck around, and people were trying to warn me. I finally listened, and what opened the spigot for me was when my former best friend wanted to come do a game with me and see her at the same time. He said, "Come to Chicago and get me, and I'll do the game. I'll do the game with you." It was scheduled for it was a Marquette Catholic game. My body just shut down, and my brain just shut down. I said, "Oh no, I'm not coming up there. Why would I drive all the way up there, get you, and come back, knowing my spider senses are tingling like crazy?"
Right.
This is what people don't realize. When men's spider senses tingle, when it comes to domestic violence, and they're in the midst of it, they're told not to say anything.
Not to say anything.
They're told, man up.
Wow. Yep.
They're told, put your big boy pants on.
Right.
The night that she hit
get
me,
over it.
Get over it. The night that she hit me, I got in my car and I drove as far and as fast as I could.
Good job, man. Seriously.
I got the hell away. And then on top of that, you know what she did? She threatened to call the police if I didn't get my stuff out of her apartment. Even though I signed the paperwork for it, I put the deposit down for it. I put the deposit down for all the utilities, and it was her apartment. I come back, they're waiting for me.
Wow!
I brought my stuff out to the trunk of my car in a garbage bag.
Yeah,
and part of that was my equipment.
Wow!
Part of that was my equipment that I used to show her, how to get things done. And I said, she told me, we talked about it earlier this morning. She told me that she could do what I do because she's watched me do it. My thought was this.
Bitch, are you for real?
This is when I was covering LaPorte High School. This is when I was covering LaPorte High School at the time. And when I finally did, man, I'll tell you what the last straw was. I was in the process of getting a local bank as a sponsor. They called me back and they said, we already sent you the check. I'm like, what?
Wow.
After some investigating.
Wow.
After some investigating, and forgive me in advance, this bitch went to the bank under my pretense. This went to the bank. Finally, I called her and I said, you know what? You need to do two things.
You know your damn role and shut your damn mouth.
And she goes, what did I do? I said, first of all, I fired your ass. And second, you went to a potential sponsor of mine without my permission.
Wow. Wow.
I got the look, and unlike the other guys that you work with, I have the nuts to put your punk ass in jail.
Yeah.
But at the same time, with all that's going on, I just thought, you know what? The pursuit ain't worth it.
Yeah. The energy.
I dropped everything and walked off like a Frank Thomas home run.
Yeah. I'm sure you would. All the guys on the panel would say that your peace, as you get older, your peace is paramount, and you can't put a price tag on it, man.
You really can't.
But domestic violence is like cancer. Most of us have been touched by it in one way or another. Whether it be under our own rules, or whether it be with the people that we are family or friends with, or coworkers or whatever, we've been touched by it in some sort of way. And you said a mouthful when you said your spidey senses. And what I wrote down is, my mom used to always tell me to try the spirit by the spirit. And I didn't understand what she meant by that. She was like, don't nobody need to tell you anything about somebody. It's not about what you heard. It's not even sometimes about what you see. But try the spirit by the spirit. So your spirit will confirm or deny somebody, and so I don't have to, I don't need you to tell me, I'm 9 times out of 10, my spirit is going to tell me what the deal is. Yeah.
Man.
Look, if you didn't say anything else in this show today, I am so thankful your mother passed that advice to you and you passed it on us. Man. That is some heavy duty stuff.
Yeah.
And that is
when
great.
I said my spider senses were tingling, they were, and I paid attention. I paid attention.
Smart.
Needed to.
Yeah.
And
you better.
A couple of years after that, it landed me in the mental hospital in Michigan City, especially after I got a reminder of what she was about, and another woman looked at me and said, I hit rock bottom. And at the time, I'm still mourning my daughter's death. And she looked at me and said, I know you hit rock bottom. I went completely off.
Wow.
When men take so much, even more than they're supposed to take, well,
see, you introduced another element too. When you talk about her getting the police involved, you entered another element to this. So let me tie this together. Snowman said, pay attention. Those are words to live by, right? I said, try the spirit by the spirit. He said, pay attention. So we hear a lot about women's intuition. We very rarely hear about men's intuition, right? But we have it, and you got to pay attention to it because it's going to keep you out of danger. Imagine the element of coming up as a black man and you got cops on the scene and they've heard one side of the story. That's another reason why I'm sure domestic violence goes unreported when it's the reverse, female on male, because the brother is like, shit, if these cops come in here, I'm the one they're going to be looking at first. So that's another element.
The LaPorte police looked at me and laughed when I said I've been abused.
Yeah, how you standing up here at 6'3", 6'4", 6'5", and saying somebody done? Man, you better get out of here.
Yeah, and they laughed me out of the station. And at that point, I said this.
All I can stand is because I can't stand no more.
And I walked off. I'll say it again. I got to this point.
That's taking stands because I can't stand no more.
Yeah.
I couldn't stand anymore. Enough was enough. And I said, you know what? As bad as I want to put this bitch in jail for stealing from me, my peace of mind is more important.
Right. More valuable.
My peace of mind is more important. And I'm going through it. I'm going through it again now, being declared disabled, but not being paid for it.
Right.
Because of my wife's salary. And I remember Cole asking me the question when I said I got declared as disabled, I got classified as disabled, and yet still can't get any benefits for it. I got people telling me left and right, you need to look into finding a lawyer. Right now, I need to look into getting healthy.
Yeah,
right now, I need to keep my peace of mind, because if I even think about taking on a lawyer right now, I'm already bald. I'll be pulling hair out from my chin.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
And I'm in the process of within the next year landing a 3-year deal with UNCG, multiplying that and taking a 2-year deal with Mount Tabor High School. I'm setting that up. I want some peace of mind, and I want to take the responsibility of getting healthy and financially as well as physically off of my wife.
Yeah,
she's done so much for me in the past 2 years alone. The past year, when I first went in the hospital with blood clots in both my lungs. I know how scary that is.
Oh yeah.
I'm not supposed to be here dealing with that and with pancreatic cancer. But Dr. Nakib said, I got you. We'll get this thing.
Love it.
This is what we talked about last week, Ivan. Man, get yourself checked and keep your peace of mind in order.
Yeah, Cole, I got one more for you, and that is Proverbs 27:17. Iron sharpeneth iron.
So does one man sharpen another. Yes, sir.
That's right. So, and a man is responsible for the countenance of his brother, right? So what that means is, when I talk about your countenance, Cole, that means I can't have you out here looking bad. So if you're out here looking bad, I need to pull your coattails and say, bro, let me holler at you for a minute.
Right.
You know, hey, I got your best interest in heart, man. It's a bad look, this over here. I can't have you out there looking crazy. I can't have you out there disrespecting yourself first. I need to protect that more than I need to protect you from the disrespect of others. I'm going to say that one more time. I need to protect you from disrespecting yourself more than I need to protect you from the disrespect of others. You can handle that. But sometimes checking yourself is a task that is impossible.
Man, amen to that. Because my wife got on me. My wife got on me about. She said, "Look, I need you to get organized. Period." So, since she and I had
another big word.
I'm organized. Since she and I had that talk 2 nights ago, I have really dove in and been about my physical business, my health business, getting everything together. Even when it comes to the supplies, because I got I'm healing from blisters on my feet. Even when it comes to the medical supplies, being organized and knowing the meds that I need to get everything together. We're multifaceted and we're multitasking. We're handling it all. You see 4 men on this panel that put it all together on a daily basis. And you see 4 men on this panel that is no longer afraid to speak the truth when it comes to sports, when it comes to society. When we get together, Bass is with me, Sudith is with me, Sam Shady, Clark Monroe, Pat Voss, everybody that I have on this program, Jay Spivey as well, everybody that I have on this program, men and women, we're about the business and we're about staying together and sticking together.
Yeah, sports is just a catalyst to life for us, man. As simple as that. And Cole, I'm trying to stop preaching, but Snowman keep tagging me in this. See, it's like a wrestling match, and we the Von Erichs. And so he keep tagging me in. So when he said this, So when he said this word organize, I immediately thought decency and in order. And the word says we got to do everything decent and in order. How can you do things decent and in order if you're not organized? Every big project I've ever taken on, whether it be a new relationship, whether it be a new position, a new project, the first thing you got to do is organize. Period. You got to organize, and sometimes that can be as germane and as simple and mundane as getting file folders and labeling them properly and putting them in order. It can be that elementary. But the bottom line is you got to organize before you do anything. You can't be decent and in order without organization.
Man.
Pass the love offering basket, man. What we doing?
The doors of the church.
Come on, Rain, man. Help us.
You know what? Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Y'all want to do some? Listen, y'all want to pass the basket? Do this. Hit us on Patreon. Go to patreon.com/SIT morning. Become a member because we got stuff coming this month that will take you behind the scenes of Snowman in the Morning. And we got to go. Thank you, Ivan, for joining us as always.
I have to apologize for every bad thing I've said about you, brother.
Now, hey, so Cole, what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to get Cole to be a Cowboys fan by being real and white stuff. So I'm gonna have him fall in love with me first, and then he'll fall in love with everything I love.
Oh gosh. Which ain't gonna happen. Thank you, Ivan. I love you, brother. Thank you so much.
Man. We'll see y'all, dude.
Ivan, love you, brother.
Oh my gosh, he's trying to get you to fall in love with him. He's foolish, but I love it.
It will happen 1 million years after I'm in the grave.
Exactly, because Texas Stadium is blown to smithereens, and soon Cowboy Stadium will be blown to smithereens. It's already blown. It's already blown to smithereens because of the Arlington football team.
Thank you, Cool.
Thank you, Cool McCain, for that. And we got to bust out of here. Thank you, Wise. Thank you, Cole. Thanks to Sam, to Ben Suter, Chris Bass, and Ivan Dawkins. Mike Debate will be back next week as we will preview the NFC South, and we'll go to the AFC South as well. So,
hold on. I got some breaking news.
Oh no!
Yeah,
what you got?
My Knicks have re-signed Mitchell Robinson. That's what I needed to let people know.
Okay.
That's the brightest smile I have seen you have in a minute.
Listen, man, I'm happy. We keep our big man. We add our point guard. We're good.
And you got Obi Toppin.
And you got Obi Toppin.
That's always good.
And you got RJ Barrett. And you got
RJ Barrett.
And you got RJ Barrett.
Yes.
Watch the Knicks, y'all.
Can he go right?
Watch the Knicks. All right. Watch these young Knicks. All right. Let's get on out of here. Have a great weekend. God bless. Remember to make your next move your best move. And always remember, if your dreams don't scare you, then they're not big enough. Dream big, do bigger. We hope y'all are too. We out!
Thank ya!
Thank you for tuning in to Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. The hottest of hot takes and the coldest of cold, hard facts.